2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Attention soccer fans, North Carolina FC invites you to be part of the excitement. Join us in our electrifying games with top-tier players, thrilling goals, and unforgettable moments. Experience the thrill of this beautiful game with North Carolina FC. Get your tickets now, northcarolinafc.com.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 20-ounce Pepsis for only $4.25 at Refuel. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jameson's on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
It's here, the Chatley Boat and Marine Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats for 6 days only, June 10th through the 15th. Boats as low as $300 a month, rebates up to $8,000, plus special financing. Large inventory ready for immediate delivery. All boats are water tested before delivery on the Chatley on-site test lake. The Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats, June 10th through the 15th. Open nightly until 6:30, Saturday until 3, only at Chatley Boat and Marine in Sanford.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
A great pool forecast for us today. A lot of sunshine and temperatures in the low to mid 90s this afternoon. We should be nice and dry, maybe just an isolated shower as we get into late tonight, and then still a warm Father's Day weekend, but should be pretty nice overall. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones currently down 90 points at 38,556.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Friday. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox, you just heard him hosting the Adam Gold Show, which means we have, once again, Graham Hill producing the show. And I'm going to be honest, if I were a superstitious person, I think I'd have to move the show down the hall. Just to give you a little background, a little revealing behind the curtain of this show, I come down towards the studio about 10 or 15 minutes before the show starts, kind of, so I don't have to rush. So I'm here when the previous show ends. I can get in, kind of move in my stuff.
You're staying in the tunnel.
Exactly. Kind of, the whole walk down the tunnel. When I left my area, my desk down the hall, Tiger had just birdied to get to 3 over the projected cut line now from datagolf.com, plus 5. So I'm like, all right, he's 2 clear of the cut line. This is good. UNC was leading 1-0 after striking first against Virginia in the College Baseball World Series. Then I walk into the studio. I look at the TVs we have here in the studio. Tiger bogeys, and UNC's tied 1-1.
Uh-oh.
So if I were a superstitious person, bottom of the third, by the way, in that Carolina-Virginia game, if I were a superstitious person, I'd tell Graham, hey, I'm going to call in from down the hall. I'm going to have to do this one from
Studio F.
from my desk. Get over there in the cubicles, make it happen. But I'm not superstitious, so we're just going to plow ahead and let the athletes finish it as they will.
They got this. ACC, come on.
Tiger just missed a birdie putt, so he's not holding up his end of the bargain.
And somebody just flied out to center field for North Carolina for 1 out in the bottom of the
Oh,
third.
man. Well, first of all, whoever that is has to work on his fly-out trot. It looked like a home run trot to me. So I just looked up and saw him kind of with the shoulders doing a little jog move. I was like, oh, home run. But
Hey, at least he ran it out.
It was just him coasting into the dugout. So the College Baseball World Series starts a few minutes ago. They're in the third inning. It is Carolina, Virginia kind of kicking things off. And here's Scott Forbes, UNC coach, on getting to play Virginia in the first game in Omaha.
We have a lot of respect for them. I know they have a lot of respect for us. We've both been really good in our division and really good in the ACC. But, you know, we have played them 3 times, and we played them at their place. So from the scouting standpoint, you know, a ton doesn't change. But they're a lot different, obviously, at this point than when we played, and we're a lot different than when we played. But at the end of the day, I've been out there long enough to know that the 8 teams are out there for a reason. And we're going to have to play extremely well. So we'll focus on us more than we'll focus on Virginia.
Facing a conference opponent in the College World Series has to be a trip. And I know it's going to happen a whole bunch all over the bracket because 4 teams from the ACC, 4 teams from the SEC are out there. But he mentioned they played each other 3 times already. Virginia won the season series 2-1 with UNC losing 14-11 or 11-14, I guess I should say. Then 2-7, then winning the third 12-7. But they're familiar. And I know both teams are healthier now, and Virginia's pitching better, and there's a few things here and there. But you're familiar with each other, right? You almost think of the College Baseball World Series, or really the final 8 in any massive, like the March Madness or college baseball where you have so many teams, where it's like part of it is going to be getting the scouting done as quickly as you can. Part of it's going to be how quickly can you pick up what this pitcher's bringing. When in this case, it's like, no, we already know what this guy's got.
You should know the lineup. You should know the pitching order, who they're going to go to in the bullpen first, who the closer is going to be, who's going to be the starter, and then you should know who should be the most dangerous player, a.k.a. Vance Honeycutt. I'm kidding. I don't want to take away from a lot of the North Carolina baseball team, like Alex Badera, Anthony Casanazzo.
Keep going. Parks Harbor. Keep it rolling. Now,
let me see if I can get one more.
The interesting part is, I feel like because they're comfortable with each other, and this is going to sound weird, I think it comes down to the baseball, right? I think it comes down to the baseball. It's less about preparation, more about the players. It's less about the coaches, more about the players. Obviously, coaches with their handling of the bullpen or whatever, lineup changes and things like that matter. But when you're playing an unfamiliar opponent, it's much more about scouting report. So that's what's going on right now. We'll keep you updated with that game as it goes along. Like we mentioned, it is bottom of the third right now. Score tied 1-1, and UNC is at the plate. Tomorrow, as we continue our preview of College Baseball World Series action pertaining to the Triangle, NC State versus Kentucky at 1 p.m. This one comes with more off-the-field stuff. What I mean by that is NC State avenging 2021? Which the 2021 season, for those of you that don't know, COVID impacted it. There were games. There was games played with 10 guys, and very few pitchers, and then eventually the season kind of came to a close for NC State due to decisions that were completely outside their control. And I don't want to relitigate all the details, but just know that NC State feels like 2021 they were wronged. Now they're playing a few years later. Some players still from that team, a ton of guys that are on this team feel like their teammates that they had played with, gotten to know, and cared about were wronged in 2021. And there's, at least from the outside, this question of, are they fighting a vengeful fight, trying to get their lick back? Elliot Avent, their coach, was asked just that. Are they righting a wrong for the 21 team?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I'm not big on revenge, chip on my shoulder. I'm not that kind of coach. Doesn't mean I don't still harbor real bad ill feelings for a couple guys there, and hopefully I'll see them this week. And what happened in 2021 was a travesty. Anybody with any kind of responsibility or anything that they're in charge of for kids that can do what they did to the 21 team, they should have immediately resigned, in my opinion. They shouldn't still be working there. But so what happened? But revenge doesn't get you anywhere, except bitter in your own feelings, and just it doesn't get you anywhere. But
I hear that. I also think smaller things have been the rallying cry of a team in the past. I think back to the year, I think the Patriots won the Super Bowl the year that Tom Brady was suspended for Spygate or Deflategate or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes those little things are it's not like you're out for revenge, but they give you a common enemy. They harbor that us against the world mentality, whatever it takes, right? Sometimes all it takes is like an opponent saying, they're not that good. And suddenly everyone is like rallying and in a frenzy, and they're building it up, and every time they hit a home run, they're looking at each other, we're not that good. Like if that's what it takes, if there's something from 2021 that can be a 1% of 1% spark for NC State, I don't think you fight it. I think as a coach, you say what was just said there, right? You say, revenge is not going to help you. It's got to be what's important now. You got to focus on this, focus on that. But if the players want to take it and run with it, let the players take it and run with it.
See, here's the thing. I totally hear what you're saying, and that motivation is there. There's no doubt. There's no denying that what happened in 2021, it sucked. It was hard to see a team that worked that hard get to that position.
You feel for the athletes.
But I also feel like you don't want that to be your rallying cry, because you're going to have some people, like somebody I know made the joke when they were playing Georgia in the winter go home game, the Super Regional. Well, they get to the College World Series and they lose. What's going to be their excuse this year? And obviously he's being a little facetious. But
take that though. Like when people say that, like, now I'm going to hit this home run into the third deck. It was going to be the second deck because come up with a quip for that one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's naysayers. There's people making the joke that you just made. Oh, what's their excuse going to be when they don't win this time? It's like, well, we're not going to have one, but hopefully we don't need one, right? Like what excuse are you going to have when we do win it all? It needs to be an us against the world thing. Those are the healthiest locker rooms I've ever been in. A lot of the healthiest locker rooms I've ever been in have that us against the world, and there's no legitimate reason why the world is against us. It's just that's the way it feels in there. Only the people inside these four walls know what it's like, and the only belief that matters are the people in this locker room right now, and you're either with us or against us. And it's like, well, most people, to be completely honest, don't really have an opinion on us right now, right? But you build that up. So, whether you use 2021 for that or not, right? The us against the world, I've never seen that as a bad thing.
I just feel like this NC State baseball team's good enough where it should just be a job's not finished mentality. That's the only. That's
could
the
be
only
you didn't finish
motivation
the
you
job
need.
in 2021. I mean, they've made it to the College World Series 4 times. You can talk job not finished, whatever it takes, really, like whatever it takes to get you in the right mindset. Right, because I've also had coaches, do the whole print out press clippings and put it in everyone's locker, and it's like, this analyst thinks you're no good or thinks you shouldn't be ranked, and it's like, that's a coach who, they don't actually care what that analyst thinks, but if it gets us, 2% more fired up at game time, they're going to do whatever they can. I mean, what's a pregame speech but to get you jacked up? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Like I said, we'll keep you updated on the College Baseball World Series. UNC Virginia going on as we speak. We'll keep you updated on the U.S. Open at Pinehurst going on as we speak. And we'll get to the next in our series of 99 questions about the college football season. We have a question that actually pertains to both of those. It's about the college football season, but it's inspired by both the U.S. Open at Pinehurst and the College Baseball World Series. Stick around.
99.9 The Fan and Arise Urology Clinic present Men's Health Month. Smoking causes cancer, heart disease, a greater risk of stroke, and increased risk of erectile dysfunction. Start your winning streak now and commit to quit. You'll fix your organs, get your looks back, and end the smoker's cough. The long-term benefits lower the chance of death and decrease your danger to your body for your future. Men's Health Month is powered by Arise. Call Arise Urology Clinic for Men at 919-964-3750 or visit CoreWaveTherapy.com.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This Father's Day, give Dad the gift that keeps on giving with the Butcher's Market Steak of the Month Club. Dad will enjoy a fresh, hand-cut steak every month for 6 months, like a prime New York strip steak, a Brazilian picanha, a petite sirloin roast, and a thick-cut T-bone steak, just to name a few. Plus great bonus items like burgundy wine marinated mushrooms, and so much more. The Steak of the Month Club is exciting, easy, and just perfect for Dad. Sign up today at any of the Butcher's Market's 6 Triangle locations or at thebutchersmarkets.com. Now open at Lake Boone Trail.
Golfers, don't miss Global Golf's Father's Day sale happening in Raleigh now till Saturday. Check out Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf gear and receive 20% off pre-owned golf clubs from TaylorMade, Cobra, and Zexio. Now is the time to trade in and update your current golf clubs with Global Golf's 15% trade-in bonus. Shop for the perfect gift this Father's Day at Global Golf, located in North Raleigh at 7320 ACC Boulevard. Global Golf, home to the best deals in golf.
Rise and shine, honey. We don't want to miss our flight.
Our flight is in 7 hours. And we have TSA PreCheck with our Navy Federal flagship credit card.
TSA PreCheck? Getting my bugle through security will be so much easier now.
Learn how you can earn up to 3 times points on travel with the flagship credit card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. 99 questions about the college football season. We're asking a question every show right up until opening kickoff of the the college football season. And every day it's a new question. And oftentimes they're going to be inspired by something going on, right? They're going to be inspired by something topical. Well, today is inspired by the potential for someone to need to make a clutch putt in the U.S. Open, or the potential for someone to come up, right, bottom half, last inning, runner on second, down one, full count. You need that clutch gene, right? I don't know if there's honestly two sports that do clutch moments, like as far as mental tests, better than golf and baseball. Because there's no clock. Take your time. Think about it, right? Get in your own head. Twist your brain up into a pretzel. All right, now go try to perform at the highest level. Right? Basketball, if they don't call a timeout, you get rebound, inbound, go, shot. Like, you don't have it's instincts. Football, you get in the yeah, exactly. You get in the 2-minute drill, and it's hurry, snap. Hurry, snap. Baseball, let's let it breathe a little bit. The play-by-play announcer. This hitter's been cold all day. Stepping in 0 for 4 with an opportunity to change the game. 3-2 the count. Pitcher looks over to first base.
Up and away.
Yeah, exactly. If we start at the beginning of the at-bat, we could take 20 minutes here. So I thought, inspired by those two moments, right? Over a putt on the 18th, you need to make an 8-footer with a heavy right-to-left break to win the tournament, or bottom of the last, 3-2 count, runner on second, bases juiced, whatever it is. Inspired by those two moments, who's the most clutch player in the Triangle college football season? And when I say clutch, I don't necessarily mean like which player is going to make the most big plays or is going to have the most game winners, because then you're taking team into account, right? Then you're looking at the schedule and saying which team is going to be in the most close games and which player is going to have the most opportunity. You would also be going astronomically towards quarterbacks because they just have the most opportunity to make big plays. So I'm thinking, like, if you had to pick a football player in the Triangle to like make a free throw with the game on the line, right? It's one of those weird situations that we make up for hypotheticals only and say you have a 6.5-foot putt for your life. You can't take the putt. You have to have somebody that plays football in the Triangle take the putt. Who you taking? I broke it down by 3 schools, obviously, like we always do for these questions. Graham, which question do you want to hear, or which team do you want to hear first?
Let's go with Duke, just because I kind of I did the same thing. I picked a player, but I kind of had their football stats to break it up.
Yes. I mean, that's the only real way we know. We don't know how clutch they are.
Yeah, we don't know if
we
they
have to
play
judge
golf.
their clutch in football. I'm just saying, for a prediction, it's like just who's the most calm and clutch and performs best under pressure.
Got it.
For Duke, Jordan Moore.
Bingo.
He caught 4 fourth quarter or overtime game-tying or go-ahead touchdowns. He caught a fourth quarter go-ahead touchdown against UNC and caught an overtime touchdown that could have tied the game in the second overtime if they were able to convert the 2-point conversion, which they weren't. He caught a fourth quarter game-tying touchdown in the win against Wake Forest, and he caught a fourth quarter touchdown that gave Duke the lead over Notre Dame, even though they lost that game. He had 8 touchdowns on the year. 4 of them were game-tying or go-ahead touchdowns in the fourth quarter or overtime. That's pretty darn ridiculous.
He also had 2 100-yard performances, including 117 yards on 9 catches against Virginia. His other 100-yard effort came against Pitt when he had 106 yards and a touchdown on 8 receptions.
By the way, that Virginia game was another close one.
Yeah.
So the guy just performs in close games. What team you want to go for next?
Let's go with NC State.
I have to be honest. A lot of NC State's wins last year were kind of hold on for dear life wins. Marshall, Clemson, Virginia Tech, all of these games were good, close, hard-fought wins, but NC State was ahead by 2 or 3 scores, and the other team was scoring the late touchdowns, but the defense and the ball control offense was good enough to not make up the difference. So I'm actually looking at them saying one of the things that you hope the transfer portal guys that brought in, and they brought in a ton of them, right? Grayson McCall, quarterback, Noah Rogers, wide receiver, Wesley Grimes, wide receiver, Hollywood Smothers, running back, Jordan Waters, running back, Justin Jolie, tight end, Zeke Correll on the offensive line. They brought in all these transfers. Those are all just the offensive transfers. I think they might have to be some of the clutch guys. So I don't even have a choice for NC State.
Really?
Yeah. Not going to be my winner after last season.
I get what you're saying as far as the cardiac pack being in full effect in all those games you just listed, but I also give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt since that was still when they were going back and forth between MJ Morris and Brennan Armstrong. I went with somebody, no-brainer, Casey Concepcion. Reigning ACC Rookie of the Year, accounted for a team-best 71 receptions for 839 yards and 10 touchdowns this past season, in addition for another 320 rushing yards on 41 carries. The man was doing it all. He was a Swiss Army knife for NC State. He might have even been able to play quarterback during some of that stretch where they were unsure who the starter should be. So Casey Concepcion's mine.
He's good. We still need his, clutch moment. We need the game-winning touchdown.
You need the Emeka Emezi
go-ahead
touchdown and comeback victory. I get it.
Like overtime or late in the game, you only need a field goal, but you score the touchdown anyway because you're Casey Concepcion. I'm still waiting on that moment. That leaves UNC. UNC had 2 double overtime victories last year. Most of the game-winning plays were mostly Drake May. So with Drake May gone, that's kind of a vacancy in the who's going to be the clutch player for UNC. But Omarion Hampton did do some good things in overtime. He does some good things in the fourth quarter. He is a traditional bell cow back in that you want the defense to get tired. You want him to pick up 4 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards in the first half. So then maybe he gets the 40, 50-yarder in the fourth quarter. So I'm going Omarion Hampton with the complete acknowledgement that he needs the offensive line to be clutch for him to be clutch.
I'm right there with you. He's one of those backs that's 5+ yards gain each carry, and it just keeps building and building and building until he breaks out to have like a 50-yard run like he did in his very first game against JMU his freshman season. Or excuse me, not JMU, FAMU.
Florida A&M.
Yeah.
Florida A&M.
To me, he just set the standard for the rest of the running backs in the ACC, racking up an insane 1,504 yards and complemented by 222 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns.
And a lot of his experience, I think, makes him more comfortable in the clutch. So there are certain people, by the way, who and you know their heart rate remains the same no matter what. They're just born with it. It's a gift, right? You think of the guys that make jokes on like game-winning 2-minute drills, and they're just so relaxed out there. But then there's others that you got to be in those close games a few times. You got to be on the field in those close games before you feel comfortable in the clutch. And I think Omarion Hampton has had all of the time in clutch games necessary to become comfortable with all the weight of the world on his shoulders. With that being said, the answer to the question, if I need a clutch putt or a clutch hit in a clutch moment, I'm going Jordan Moore at Duke.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll have as many opportunities. I don't know if Duke will be in as many close games or winnable situations. But last year he proved, right, in a big moment, he has no problem stepping up. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have some U.S. Open updates to get to when we come back. The Oilers are completely cooked and more. Stick around.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. If you are a new rider, even an experienced rider, or maybe looking to ride a motorcycle for the first time, this is where Law Tigers comes in for you because they are riders as well. Go to lawtigers.com, again, lawtigers.com, and request a rider benefits kit. This is something that's going to be important for you, again, whether you're super experienced, relatively new to riding a bike, or, again, maybe looking to ride for the first time. Know everything that is for you as a rider. And this is, again, where Law Tigers comes in. If you are ever injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Insurance companies, they want to pay you the least amount possible, whereas Law Tigers, again, they're riders too. They understand what your bike and your gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's bow time." So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bo Sauce is back. That's right, Bo Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bo Sauce? Then it's Bo time.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Did your mobile provider just increase their prices again? Switch to Spectrum Mobile, the nation's fastest growing mobile provider. With Spectrum Mobile, you get unlimited talk, text, and data, plus nationwide 5G. Switching to Spectrum Mobile has never been easier. We'll pay off your phone balance up to $2,500. Stop dealing with price hikes from your cell phone company. Get Spectrum Mobile. Visit spectrum.com/itpays-to-switch for full details. Offer subject to change. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Hardy. Quit Tour 2024. Saturday, June 15th, Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. With Kip Moore, Travis Denning, and Ella Langley. ACM Award winner, Hardy, live. On sale now at livenation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
It's here, the Chatley Boat and Marine Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats for 6 days only, June 10th through the 15th. Boats as low as $300 a month. Rebates up to $8,000 plus special financing. Large inventory ready for immediate delivery. All boats are water tested before delivery on the Chatley on-site test lake. The Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats June 10th through the 15th. Open nightly until 6:30, Saturday until 3, only at Chatley Boat and Marine in Sanford.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Got a car-loving dad? Nice. We've got a Father's Day sale. Right now, our Armor All Ultimate 8-piece bucket kit is just $25. That's soap, a wash mitt, wheel cleaner, tire shine, glass wipes, and interior wipes. Plus, a bucket to use for the wash. All for just $25 at the AutoZone Father's Day sale. Now through the 16th.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, y'all. Happy summer from Oak City Customs. We have a lot of cool things happening, including new offerings on custom sun sails, pergolas, outdoor tables and furnishings, raised garden beds, and so much more. All fully customizable and available in any size. We also are now hosting official shop tours for you to experience this unique fabrication process in person. Come visit us or check us out further at oakcitycustoms.com. We look forward to meeting you.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly. 99.9 The Fan. Let's go ahead and give you some updates on the U.S. Open. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the U.S. Open. Here's the current leaderboard from Pinehurst, presented by McConnell Golf. Leading the way, Patrick Cantlay. He's been amongst the leaders the entire tournament, and that includes today. Although we still got a lot of golf to play in the second round, he is 1 under through 6 holes. Ludwig Aubert is 2 under through 5 holes. He's tied for first as well. And then the Frenchman, Mathieu Pavon. I feel like I got to say it that way. He's 2 under through 3. Hot start for him. 5 under on the tournament. He is in third place by himself. It's in that next kind of grouping of people, next cluster of contenders where some of the big names come in. Bryce DeChambeau, 4 under. He's in the clubhouse after his Friday round this morning. Rory McIlroy, 3 under on the tournament. He was +2 on the day, but still in the top 6 there, top group of contenders. You have Hideki Matsuyama, you have Tony Finau, you have Tom Kim, you have Tyrrell Hatton, all in that next group under par on the tourney. But Patrick Cantlay and Aubert are definitely the leaders in this one. If you're looking for a Tiger Woods update, tied for 62nd, +4. He did manage to get under par on the day with a birdie on 4, gave it right back with a bad bogey on the par 5 fifth. But he's even on the day through 7 holes, +4 on the tournament. And for those of you wondering, I subscribe and I use Data Golf for my cut predictions.
Okay.
You can go on to the U.S. Open app or website, and they'll tell you what the cut would be right now, right? If the tournament, if Friday's rounds were over, the cut would be blah, blah, blah. I prefer Data Golf because they use the data, get it, on how the course has been playing and try to predict what the cut line might move to. They have right now 43.9% chance the cut will be +4, which is what Tiger's on the money right now. And +5, they say there's a 55.8% chance that it'll move to +5. So Tiger might have a little bit of wiggle room. It would be much much less nerve-wracking if he would just go ahead and stay at +4 or maybe even pick up a stroke or two.
So I feel pretty confident in what I was most confident about yesterday in the U.S. Open. Rory McIlroy finishing in the top 10 if he can hold.
He today wasn't as strong as yesterday, but he's in the top 10 still, and he's still Rory McIlroy.
We got to see. You just said analytics said that Tiger's kind of flirting when making the cut.
Data Golf has him as a 31.7% chance to make the cut.
Okay, that was my concern.
But there's about 2.5 decades worth of evidence of you probably don't want to be the one going, Tiger, 31%. There's no way he's going to make it happen. He's made a career out of making like 5% things happen.
Yeah.
I actually, this is strange, and we're now like into our U.S. Open tracker. I kind of like these majors when Tiger's like on the cut line.
Yeah.
It's not
flirting with it a little
It's
bit.
not the same as we used to see him like on a Sunday with guys chasing him trying to win a tournament, but it is fun seeing Tiger with stakes, right? It would be obviously I want him to make the cut. I'm a big Tiger fan, and I'd rather him, just be in 30th or whatever. But what's the difference for Tiger Woods between finishing in 24th and finishing in 53rd?
Yeah.
There's really nothing, right? Outside of a made cut. There's really nothing because he's got 80+ wins on tour. He's got 15 major championships. No one's going like, hey, he's got a streak of top 38s going. It's basically made cuts and wins are the only things that seem to matter. So let's put him right on the edge and like have him have to play the final 6 holes in even or 1 under to make the cut. And let's see Tiger get the blood going, right? Let's see Tiger put on the clutch gene and talk about clutch players, maybe the most clutch of all time. Let's see that happen. It's maybe like me spin zoning a silver lining out of one of the all-time greats struggling to make the cut. But, heck, I want to see Tiger Woods over a 12-foot putt that he knows he has to make. Because there was a point in time where those 12-foot putts were to win tournaments, and it felt like he was 100%. Like, I couldn't imagine if you had a one-stroke lead, Tiger's putting for a playoff, and he's got a 14-footer, and you're just like, well, he's going to make this, and then he's going to beat me in a playoff. It's just what you thought. So, I don't know, maybe the cut line is the new player feeling that.
Well, the conversation nowadays regarding Tiger Woods before any major championship is not is Tiger Woods competing to be a champion contender, but is he competing just to be competitive, to make the cut, to
Can
be a
he
part,
win? Is there a chance?
to be a part of that final day? And as somebody who's planning on going down to Pinehurst for the championship Sunday at the U.S. Open, I'd like to see Tiger Woods out there. I'm not asking him to win, but I just want to be able to see Tiger Woods play once in my lifetime. I think that's something that we all want.
Oh, absolutely.
That we can all say we want.
Check it off the bucket list. I saw, in similar form, I saw Chris Lee, WRAL Sports, over on the TV side, joins the show occasionally, co-hosts the Panthers Playbook podcast with Dennis Cox. I did see on his social media, he said, because he's working, he's covering the tournament out there in Pinehurst. And he said, I took a break from working to come over here and just watch Tiger play golf.
Yeah.
And he saw him putt for par on the second or whatever it was. And it's just there's a good chance, 30, 40 years from now, being able to say, I saw Tiger play is going to be a pretty good story at a happy hour. So go get that story if you're going to be out at Pinehurst at all this weekend. Another news at the U.S. Open, Pinehurst living up to its name is Pinehurst. It is making the players work. Scotty Scheffler, Mr. Even Steven, Mr. Boring, Mr. No course has been able to get the better of Scotty Scheffler for a year and a half. He threw his putter in the air after missing a putt because he thought it was good and these greens are tough.
Oh.
He caught himself in the deep vegetation and foliage. He caught himself in bad places. And actually, I'll give you an update on where he is on the leaderboard. Tied for 74 right now, +5. He's going to need some help to make the cut. Thank you, Pinehurst, for making somebody that didn't seem or I should say, for taking someone that seemed invincible and making him look very, very mortal in a major championship.
For evening the playing field a little bit.
For everyone that was saying, oh, Scheffler's playing as well as Tiger. Oh, Scheffler's the next this. Scheffler's the next that. Scheffler's awesome. I'm not knocking Scheffler. But I'm saying Pinehurst has a way of making the seemingly immortal very, very mortal.
Well, it's like what we kind of talked about yesterday in those earlier rounds. The more and more people start to play on that surface, the more and more it's going to adapt and it's going to get kind of
and I
roughed
don't
up
think,
a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think they're going to be watering it a ton. They're going to be doing everything they can to make it more difficult because they want to see carnage a bit. It's kind of what the U.S. Open is known for.
They want to cause chaos.
And shout out to the Canes. And much of what they're doing is testing the mentals of their players. What I mean by that is everybody is going to have the shot where they want to throw their club or they want to toss their putter in the air. Everybody is going to have the shot that off the face, they're like, yes, nailed it. And somehow it ends up in the deep stuff or it ends up in a bunker. Every single person on the course is going to happen. The eventual winner, that's going to happen to them. It's all about how they deal with it. You were confident in Rory being top 10. I'll give you an example why Rory might be mentally in a good spot.
Okay.
Earlier today, 17th hole, Rory putt off the green. So he was on the green. He had a putter in his hand. Putts it, runs by the hole, off the green. Okay? That's a move that, I make, right? Now, I would definitely do it on Pinehurst, but a lot of the pros are doing it on Pinehurst. He putts it off the green. What do you think he did with his very next shot? Dunked the chip. He goes from putter to wedge, and he puts the wedge in the hole. It's how well can you mitigate the disaster, right? You had a bad shot. You had a horrendous putt. Maybe embarrassed. Maybe you wanted to throw your putter. Maybe you wanted to do a whole bunch of things. Maybe you wanted to curse out your caddy. Maybe you wanted to take a 9-iron to the grandstand. Instead, lock back in, make a great shot on your next shot, mitigate that problem, kind of a ho-hum par. We'll keep you updated on what's going on at the U.S. Open. It's at Pinehurst, just down the road from us here in the Triangle. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Keep you updated on what happened in the Stanley Cup Finals last night. Does it hurt a little much, Carolina, that a Panthers team is going to win a professional sports championship and it's not our Panthers? And it's in a sport that we thought our Canes were going to win?
Yeah.
This one seems personal, doesn't it?
And it's in a state that's just as hot as it is right now here.
Maybe hotter, maybe more humid. Down there in Florida. Florida Panthers, series over.
That's a wrap.
They're up 3-0 over the Oilers. I'm going to make this point about the NBA Finals in a little bit here. But the series is over. The story isn't over, right? You can, if Barkov goes out there and scores 2 in the game 4, maybe he can work his way into some awards. If Bobrovsky throws another shutout, maybe we're talking about all-time runs by him. If McDavid scores, maybe we're not as harsh on the top players for the Oilers. Like, the story isn't over if the Rangers win one, right? Then we have to erase all of the headlines we've already written down about sweeps, right? The story isn't over, but the series is, right? It's a matter of time now. The Rangers will be your Stanley Cup champion, or not the Rangers, the Panthers will be your Stanley Cup champion. And actually, you know what? Here's the good news for the Canes. The Canes system can win a title. Panthers play a very similar system. The defense that the Canes are known for is locking up Edmonton.
I mean, I believe it was maybe the first goal where they evened it back up, and the goal that the Panthers scored, net front presence. I thought it was Stefan Nason out there. Like, it looked identical to a goal the Carolina Hurricanes score.
I think there's a few things the Canes can learn from what the Panthers are doing, and you hate to. You'll never admit that you were paying attention and learning from the Panthers because, right, it's the Panthers. But there's a few things that I think they can take away from it. But first, let's hear from former Canes coach Paul Maurice, who's now coaching the Panthers, on where kind of they are situated in this series.
Well, you have to have a plan, and that plan can't come in yesterday. Right? You're very careful about walking into the room as a coach with something they haven't heard before at this time of the year. So we would have talked about our recovery post-game, and they've done that not just in the playoffs, in the regular season. We have a plan, and I'm looking forward to going to bed. So I'm going to keep my focus on that, enjoy the heck out of it. Fortunate enough to wake up, I got a plan for tomorrow, and then I'm not looking anywhere past that.
Again, good ideas there, but he knows it. We all know it. Oilers don't have the juice. I respect the Oilers for giving it the gusto, taking it from 4-1 to 4-3.
Yeah,
like there's no give up in them. But
after they gave up 3 goals, but I mean
it's the fight that I respect. Although no one will remember that. The Oilers' top 5 point scorers, including Connor McDavid from the regular season, have failed to score a single goal in the Stanley Cup final thus far.
Ugh.
That's the story. The story is the Panthers have taken one of the top lines, have taken some of the most talented players in the game and roughed them up, right? Physically won the game. Part of that is great individual effort. Alexander Barkov, unbelievable effort. Give him a ton of credit. Battling against McDavid for a series is not easy, right? I think a lot of defenders kind of get up for McDavid in the regular season. All right, this Wednesday, massive game. McDavid's coming to town, and they shoot all their ammo and then for one game, and then they're exhausted. In a series, you got to do that game in and game out. Same task. He's learning you. You're learning him. It's a chess match. Give Barkov all the credit, even if Barkov turns around and gives all the credit to Sergei Bobrovsky in goal.
Well, he's had a lot of big saves, especially in the finals. I know they have a really good team. They're going to have their chances no matter how good we play in defensive zone. Like, they create a lot. They're very gifted offensively, so they're going to get their chances. And like Bob has been dialed in, and when you see how much work he puts in every single day and in the practice and in the games, you're just happy to see him perform like that, and that was huge save for us, but he also had a lot of big saves throughout the whole game.
Bob played great. Barkov played great. The Panthers are playing well.
Yeah.
The things the Canes can learn, physicality. I've said it ever since the Canes were eliminated watching the Panthers. They feel 15% more physical. It's not a lot, but the difference in the postseason is not a lot. 15% more physical, goalie, right? You got to give Pyotr Kochetkov the chance. And then other than that, it's few clutch plays here or there. It's not a ton. Few clutch plays here and there. Graham, I know I was cutting you off there. Did you have something to say?
I was just going to say also, to piggyback off that, if you're the Carolina Hurricanes, remember, don't hurt yourself. There's been plenty of times where you've seen the Edmonton Oilers just mishandle the puck in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it's set up for a great Florida Panthers goal. Just like there was plenty of times for the Carolina Hurricanes in that series against the Rangers, they would turn the puck over in neutral ice, and it would set up for a Rangers breakaway, and then you're leaving your goaltender out to dry. So, again, you kind of hate to admit that you're keeping an eye on this series, but you want to be taking notes on what the Florida Panthers are doing because
they're about to hoist the cup.
Adam Gold even said coming to the playoffs, even though it didn't shape out with just how the standings were, he thought Florida was the best team going into the Stanley Cup playoffs out of anybody.
Well,
Adam always knows
I was going to say that's a good call. The sports books thought it was the Canes. Obviously, not true. The driver, Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The offseason already started for the Canes. We talked about this yesterday. You can find our initial reactions to it on our YouTube page, 99.9 The Fan. Please subscribe and comment while you're there. But the Canes agreed yesterday to a 3-year, $3 million per year contract with Jalen Chatfield. It was officially announced today by the team. And Jalen Chatfield joined 99.9 The Fan earlier today on the Adam Gold Show with Dennis sitting in for Adam. Here's Jalen Chatfield on the biggest part of the game he wants to improve on.
I criticize myself a lot. I want to be the best at every aspect of the game. So
Sure.
I can't say I go into the summer just like, oh, I need to work on my skating or my shooting. Like I'm out there every day trying to be methodical with my work that I'm doing and really watching a lot of video, trying to pick up bad habits that I might have had slightly and just always improving the things that, that make me the player I am. And I think the biggest thing too going into any season is it's going to be your mindset and, just the grind of the season can wear guys down. And, mentally you have to stay sharp. You have to stay focused every day. And, one of the biggest things for me is just coming to the rink every day and practice our game and treating it, like it was a game 7 and just going out there and, preparing.
Jalen Chatfield's got that dog in him.
I was just about to say, if you couldn't tell by the audio, Jalen Chatfield's dog is very pumped up about his contract extension.
Yeah, probably getting a
he knows he doesn't
bigger
have to
backyard or something with that with the $3 million per year salary, right?
Or he knows he doesn't have to leave his favorite tree that's in the backyard.
Yeah, true. It doesn't have to go to some cold weather location. Jalen Chatfield being re-signed by the Canes is awesome. He is, to me, I think, where you can, he is a success story that allows you to, I think, go more all in with a top-heavy roster. If you can find the Jalen Chatfields, which, they found him, developed him. He was an AHL guy for the Wolves, which are now back in the system with the Canes. If you can find the Jalen Chatfields, who's still a steal at $3 million a year, I think that should make you a little bit more emboldened to spend to keep the top guys, right? If you are going to convince yourself to make a legitimate offer to Jake Gensel, you're going to have to also convince yourself that you can find more Jalen Chatfields to fill out the bottom part of your roster and maybe one day move up to the top of your roster. The last 2 years, Jalen Chatfield has made very little money by NHL standards, but he's played some very good defense, right? The Orlov-Chatfield defensive pairing this past season made $8.5 million combined? 7.75 of that goes to Dmitry Orlov.
Yeah.
That's where you can make up some of the money in the margins. Here's Jalen Chatfield on what it was like playing with Orlov this past season.
It was awesome to play with a guy as good as him and, have that experience and, to be able to continue to improve my game and having him right there and just learning from him and, seeing how he prepares and all that stuff. It goes a long way, more than people know it. And, it was very, very fortunate to be able to play with him, and it was pretty much the whole year. And, I thought we really clicked. I thought, as the season went on, we started to build more and more chemistry, and I think it showed on the ice. And, hopefully next year, not saying I know the D pairings or whatever's going to happen, but if we get another opportunity to play together, then hopefully we can continue to grow and get even better.
I hope they get to continue to play together. I think that, if people forget, at the beginning of this past season, Jalen Chatfield was kind of the first guy to be the healthy and active, right? It was Tony DeAngelo skating with Orlov, and it took, 10, 15 games, I don't remember the exact number, for Chatfield to really take over with Orlov. And I think if you went back and watched, their first couple of shifts together, and then you go pick one from, the last week of the season, The difference will be stark. So you've put all that work in. Make sure you take advantage of it next year. I want those two guys as your second pairing on defense. Again, unless something unforeseen happens and you're able to bring back Pesci or Shea or both, which I just don't see how the salary cap works out that way. But if the first line is Slavin, who they're reportedly working on a long-term deal with, and if the obviously Slavin and Burns, and then the second line is Chatfield and Orlov, I think you can have a traditional near the top in the NHL defensive group. Throw Scott Morrow, who seems to be pro-ready as a prospect, in that third line. Maybe a veteran, maybe someone else. Nikishin, if you can get him over here, who knows? Probably unlikely at this point. But I'm looking forward to what the Canes can do with their roster now that Jalen Chatfield is locked up.
Dennis Cox brought up a good point after that soundbite, saying, well, the good thing about him and Orlov playing again together next year is going to be like riding a bike, almost, because there's going to be a routine, there's going to be chemistry, and it's going to go a long way as the season develops with those guys being a defensive pair. I mean, we're trying to figure out who we're going to re-sign, Brady Shea, Brett Pesci. Maybe we're not going to be able to bring both of them back. Who's to say that down the line, Dmitry Orlov and Jalen Chatfield can slide in as far as being the next power defensive pair for this Carolina Hurricanes team.
And you heard him talking about kind of what he wants to work on. I still think there's a little bit – he's not going to be like a 25 goal scorer. I think there's a little bit more production on the other end of the ice that is lurking within his skill set. He has speed, gets to pucks. I think if he trusts that speed a little bit more, he can maybe test the waters a little bit more on the attacking end, knowing that he has the speed to make up for it if he needs to get back on defense. Right-hand shot, he's again, I'm not advocating for him to turn into like, oh, he's an offensive defenseman, Tony DeAngelo, let's get him point guarding the power play or whatever. Right. Not advocating anything like that, so don't jump to conclusions. But I do think there's a little bit more of production there from the blue line that you can get out of Jalen Chatfield, and maybe that is what they were thinking, locking him up to a 3-year, $3 million per year deal.
I don't even feel like he has to be one of those defensive goal scoring guys.
He does or doesn't have to?
He doesn't have to.
Oh, no, definitely doesn't have to. I just think that's something that you might be interested in.
Certainly helps if he is, but
yeah, for sure. By the way, I'm pretty sure I'm on his cap-friendly page here, which will be going away soon because the cap-friendly was just purchased by the Commanders.
Rest in peace.
But I'm kind of confident here. He's never had a contract. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're looking. Basically, his career earnings are somewhere in like the $4 or $5 million. Now he's going to be making $3 million per year. That's pretty good. And he's going to get another shot to take a bite at the apple in free agency when he's 30, 31. So Jalen Chatfield's in a good spot. The Canes are in a good spot with him. And based on what we just heard in those clips, sounds like he's mentally in a good spot as well. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Quick updates. What is that? Top 6th, North Carolina and Virginia tied 1-1 in their first game of the College World Series. The U.S. Open still going on. Cantlay, Aubert in tie for first. Pavon in a solo third. We'll get back with football at 4 coming up next. Stick around.
Hey, it's Victoria with 99.9 The Fan with a Men's Health Month tip from WakeMed Heart and Vascular. Each year, smoking causes more than 480,000 deaths in the United States. That's nearly 1 in 5 deaths. Those aren't odds you want to play with. Don't put off kicking the habit. In just 1 year after quitting, a person's risk for coronary heart disease decreases by half. Learn more about how you can quit and get started today, plus other ways to care for your heart at WakeMed.org.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers, the best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man! Now I want wings!
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing. Made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories. All without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver. All the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew. 30 seconds. That's it. Done. Peace.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 20-ounce Pepsis for only $4.25 at Refuel. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
Atlantic Spas and Billiards wants to take the fun outside. Start with an endless pool, the original swim spa. Let us show you how to exercise and have swimming pool fun in one package. Turn your outdoor living space into an oasis of fun this summer with our outdoor gaming tables. From pool tables and shuffleboard to table tennis and foosball. Complete your backyard setup with a pellet grill from Memphis or Kamado Joe. Take advantage of closeouts and June incentives. Atlantic Spas and Billiards, Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh or Market Street in Wilmington. AtlanticSBNC.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Got a car-loving dad? Nice. We've got a Father's Day sale. Right now, our Armor All Ultimate 8-piece bucket kit is just $25. That's soap, a wash mitt, wheel cleaner, tire shine, glass wipes, and interior wipes. Plus, a bucket to use for the wash. All for just $25 at the AutoZone Father's Day sale. Now through the 16th.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hi everyone, happy Friday. This is meteorologist Anthony Baglione. Certainly going to be a hot forecast as we continue through the rest of our Friday, but we're looking at a lot of sunshine, relatively manageable humidity levels. All in all, not a bad forecast, just pretty hot today. We go from the low to mid 90s today to right around 90 for our Saturday.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones still down at 57 points at 38,589.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Every day we talk pigskin at 4 o'clock. We call it football at 4. You can set your watch by it. Hopefully a watch from the Fox Bailey Watch Shop. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Raleigh. Village District location. I don't know if you guys saw this, or maybe you saw it and thought it was like an Onion article. You thought it was satire. Trevor Lawrence is now the highest paid player in NFL history. on a per year extension basis. So per year, new money on your extension, the contract signed. He is tied with Joe Burrow for the highest paid football player to ever walk planet Earth. Well, darn. $55 million per year for Trevor Lawrence. That is a boatload. That is you know how you know you're rich? When you don't have a boat, you have either a yacht. You know how you're really rich? You don't have a yacht, you have a ship. You know how you're really, really rich? You don't have a ship, you have a vessel. Like Trevor Lawrence is going to have a vessel. He's going to have a cruise ship. This dude is loaded. And he's also the example of why you shouldn't give up on Bryce Young. First of all, Trevor Lawrence has not been statistically the best quarterback in the NFL, right? This contract is part what the Jacksonville Jaguars believe he can be. And also the terrifying nature of what happens when you don't have a quarterback. So if you were to not pay him, not extend him, and then you lose him, you'd have to go find a quarterback, and that's scary for both teams. So let's just call a spade a spade. There's a difference between being the highest paid quarterback in the NFL and the best quarterback in the NFL. Chris Canty of Unsportsmanlike, you hear him every morning here on 99.9 The Fan, thinks maybe it's a little overblown to think he hasn't lived up to the hype.
I also think that it's a little bit overblown when we have the conversation around Trevor about him not living up to the expectations. I think the first year with Urban Meyer as his head coach, he didn't really have somebody that was competent at the wheel of the organization, right? And the Jaguars were a really bad franchise. They had the number one pick in back-to-back years. So I think we have to also keep that in mind. In his first year with a real head coach in Doug Peterson, they made the playoffs, won a home playoff game, and they had a 3-point ball game in the fourth quarter on the road in Arrowhead against Patrick Mahomes. Pretty damn good. And I think that when we start talking about the quarterback, specifically in the AFC, the guys that you think are worth the money, can they have me in a competitive situation against the bar, the litmus that is the Kansas City Chiefs? And I think Trevor Lawrence has answered that question.
Here's the thing. His first year was a terrible situation. You know who else's first year was a terrible situation?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Trevor Lawrence was a first overall pick. You know who else was a first overall pick?
Bryce Young.
Going into the second year, a lot of people were pretty worried about the B word, bust, for Trevor Lawrence. You know who's pretty worried about that word, or everyone is pretty worried about that word for them right now going into a second year?
Bryce Young.
Yes. Trevor had a bad rookie year, but it was a terrible situation. The next year, a more stable coach, offensive-minded, a big jump in production. The year after that, another solid year, proves that year two wasn't a fluke. That next offseason, $55 million per year extension. This is why you don't give up on Bryce Young. This is why context matters. If Trevor Lawrence didn't have Urban Meyer as his head coach his rookie year,
jeez,
this $55 million might not even seem like surprising at all. $55 million per year. It's $275 million over 5 years. If it's Bryce Young right now, you're like, gosh, no, we're never going to give him that $55 million per year. But because of the situation the Panthers put Bryce Young in his rookie year, changing coaches halfway through, changing play callers a billion times, not having a talented enough supporting cast around him, all of the same things the Jags did to Trevor Lawrence, it makes it so if they're good in year two, it's very easy to write off year one, the same way we just heard from Chris Canty. Right? He thinks it's overblown that Trevor Lawrence didn't live up to the hype because his first year was such a bad situation.
I mean, the parallels are pretty similar. I mean, Urban Meyer got fired, 12 games this season?
I think it was 12, yeah.
Frank Reich got fired.
11.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the similarities are crazy, which makes it so, like, if Bryce Young is just solid this year, everybody's going to go, oh, okay, that first year wasn't his fault. It's like every time a quarterback goes to the Jets and plays, and then goes somewhere else, there's that moment where everybody's like holding back, going like, wait. Before we say he's completely a bust, let's see him be a bust somewhere else. Because if he's good now, we can just blame the Jets for the first part, right? When Sam Darnold came to the Panthers, everyone was like, whoa. Let's see if he stinks for real before we blame him. It might just be the Jets. Obviously, Jacksonville is not holding Trevor Lawrence's rookie year against him because he's going, whoa. Let's see if that was just Urban Meyer. Doesn't that sound similar to, whoa, let's see if it's not just Frank Reich and Thomas Brown and how they couldn't get on the same page and how he didn't have any wide receivers getting open and how he didn't have any offensive linemen that could block. Trevor Lawrence, and by the way, what did the Jaguars do between year 1 and year 2? Well, they did a lot, right? They brought in Doug Peterson, a quarterback-friendly coach. They brought in better wide receivers. Remember when they spent all that money on Christian Kirk and everyone was like, whoa, they way overpaid for him.
Right.
But they understood that he needs wide receivers. They went and got Evan Ingram. Travis Etienne got healthy. Okay, well, let's look at what the Panthers have done for Bryce Young between year 1 and year 2.
They've gotten Deontay Johnson, who, if things go well, you're going to extend him and pay him the money he deserves.
They got Deontay Johnson. They went and got Jonathan Brooks, who will hopefully be healthy this season. They went and drafted a tight end in the fourth round, first pick of the fourth round, Jatavian Sanders. They drafted a wide receiver in the first round. They understood that he needed weapons, and more importantly, they solidified the offensive line with 2 massive free agent signings at guard in Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt. If through 6 games, I'm just gonna make stats up off the top of my head.
Okay.
If through 6 games, Bryce Young has thrown, I don't know, like 12 touchdown passes, and even some 5 interceptions, and he's averaging like 250 yards a game. The amount of people that they won't, by the way, they won't say, because no one ever says this in media, I was wrong on Bryce Young. What they'll be saying is he was held back last year. Same thing they're saying about Trevor Lawrence now as they give him $55 million. By the way, with the extension for Trevor Lawrence, it kicks in after his 5th-year option. So that is, he's going to get $82 million in cash this year, but the cap hits and everything become ridiculous 3 years into the future. So you can still spend and you can still put players around him right now, knowing that extension is going to kick in the future. So you can still spend on Bryce Young's talent right now, his supporting cast right now, knowing even if you get a top-end outcome, even if he turns it around the way Trevor Lawrence turned it around, even if we are willing to completely forget about year 1, you still have 4 years where your quarterback isn't killing your cap. But that's as direct a parallel as you can find to a great outcome for Bryce Young. Now, are there examples of quarterbacks that were in bad situations their rookie years and don't turn into franchise $275 million quarterbacks? Yes, there are examples of that. But let's choose on an optimistic Friday to lean the other way, right? Let's choose to go, hey, there's still a chance that 2 years from now, you want to pay Bryce Young all the money that you possibly can to keep him around, latched onto your team for the next 7 years.
I like this optimism. I like, as you said, a feel-good Friday. Let's look at Trevor Lawrence and what he did in his rookie season, struggling under Urban Meyer. Set an NFL-high 17 interception record and 3-13 record as it started that year, and was a part of a large team issue. But then he rebounded in a big way last season, 25 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions, leading the Jaguars to an AFC South title. Last time I checked, the Carolina Panthers play in the NFC, okay?
Correct.
So who's to say that things
can't be that version?
The Carolina Panthers can't turn things around with Bryce Young having a friendly quarterback head coach in Dave Canales.
And Trevor Lawrence won one of the craziest playoff games of all time, where Justin Herbert and the Chargers were ahead by, I think, 100, and then the Trevor Lawrence and the Jags won. So, hey, crazier things can happen. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are going to take a break, but first, I want to tell you about my friends at Window Nation. Window Nation is extending their semi-annual sale, 50% off all window styles, plus 0% interest for 5 years and an additional bonus if you schedule an appointment this week. I talk about this a lot. I love that Window Nation puts window in the name of their business. When you talk to them, right? I had Justin from Window Nation come into my house, gave me and my wife the full consultation, free, no obligation consultation. They looked at our windows. They showed us their new windows. He put up with my 3-year-old asking a billion questions. He put up with my dog barking. So I really respect him for that because not everybody would. But I love that they put window in their name, Window Nation, because they are window experts. They're not somebody coming in like, oh, yeah, we'll do your counters, we'll do your HVAC, we'll fix your roof, we will cook you dinner, we'll fix up your car, we'll drive your Uber. No, they're like, we do windows. And the reason why I like that is because it means they're experts. They do it well. They do it every day. They know it inside and out. There's not a problem with your windows or your house or your installation that they haven't seen before on another house and know how to fix. Trust me, like 10 minutes talking with somebody like Justin from Window Nation, you'll understand the depth of their knowledge because every question you ask, they have not only an answer for, but an in-depth example of how they've dealt with it before. And some houses have this, some houses have that. Yours looks like it's this. Like they go through it all. It's great. You want to give them a call, 866-90-NATION. Schedule your free no obligation quote now because you get an additional bonus if you schedule an appointment this week in addition to their semi-annual sale of 50% off all window styles and 0% interest for 5 years. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to schedule now. That's windownation.com. JJ Redick, former Duke star, formerly interviewing for the Lakers job. What does that mean? Next.
99.9 The Fan at Carolina Ale House want to help you recognize dear old dad. Grab your smartphone right now and text DAD to 919-860-5326. Click the link and nominate a deserving father figure in your life to win a grilling prize pack. Perfect for the best dad ever. Dear Old Dad from 99.9 The Fan is presented by Carolina Ale House, where all dads get a free varsity burger this Father's Day.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, it's bow time. So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Rise and shine, honey. We don't want to miss our flight.
Our flight is in 7 hours. And we have TSA PreCheck with our Navy Federal flagship credit card.
TSA PreCheck? Getting my bugle through security will be so much easier now.
Learn how you can earn up to 3 times points on travel with the flagship credit card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
It's here. The Chatley Boat and Marine Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats for 6 days only, June 10th through the 15th. Boats as low as $300 a month. Rebates up to $8,000 plus special financing. Large inventory ready for immediate delivery. All boats are water tested before delivery on the Chatley on-site test lake. The Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats, June 10th through the 15th. Open nightly until 6:30, Saturday until 3, only at Chatley Boat and Marine in Sanford.
Gilbert worked in retail and restaurant management for 14 years. It was time for a change.
I recognized where I was at was vulnerable to the whims of the economy.
Then he heard about My Computer Career. Gilbert went for it.
In as little as 7 months, I got all of my certifications at a fraction of a cost for college.
He became an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
I can work from anywhere. I have more time for my family as well.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
We all know what UV rays can do to our skin, but they can also do damage to your car. Keep that from happening with 303 Protectant. 303 Protectant keeps the sun's harmful rays from causing fading and cracking in rubber, plastic, or vinyl surfaces. From the dashboard to the tires, 303 Protectant keeps your car looking new longer. Get 303 Protectant today at Advance Auto Parts. Visit 303radio.com for more information.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not a rate based on Terry, who keeps and makes the car behind them. Oh no, they're about to. Save with DriveWise in the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Just in time for Father's Day. Coming up this weekend. If you're still looking for a gift, might be a little late, but we might be able to help you. Just in time for Father's Day, we want to help you recognize dear old dad. Text DAD, D-A-D, to 919-860-5326. If you click the link, that comes back to you, and nominate a deserving father figure in your life, they just might win a grilling prize pack. What comes in a grilling prize pack, you might ask? How about a $50 gift card to Carolina Ale House? How about grilling accessories? How about beer and wine? How about local spices and sauces? That's what a grilling prize pack has.
Let's go.
Text DAD to 919-860-5326. Click the link. Nominate a deserving father figure in your life to win that grilling prize pack. Dear Old Dad is served up by Carolina Ale House, where all dads get a free varsity burger this Father's Day. For the first time in a while, by the way, and we'll have to update this, like I said, kind of throughout the show, there has been a change at the top of the leaderboard for the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Patrick Cantlay went ahead and double bogeyed the 8th hole. He had been in first for most of the day and a half of the tournament. So he falls back into a tie for second with Bryson DeChambeau, Thomas Dietrich, Matthew Pavon, and Ludwig Aberg. Ludwig Aubert moves into a lone first place. I think he's like 22, 23 years old.
Wow. What am I doing?
He is now leading. You, some of us are a decade older than he is. And he is leading the U.S. Open at Pinehurst by himself through 8 holes in the second round.
Game 1 of the College World Series between number 12 Virginia and number 4 North Carolina. Virginia currently leading the Tar Heels 2-1, top of the 7th. Runner on second, 2 outs after a nice strikeout. Actually, no, that retires the top of the inning. Right as I was saying it.
So, yes, UVA's up 2-1. Both teams have registered 5 hits. UVA is a little bit more timely. And guess who's due up for UNC?
The number 26 prospect in the MLB draft.
Vance Honeycutt. So if Honeycutt can do something for UNC, this might be a tie game, or
might have to update you again,
or UNC lead more quickly than we thought. So there's a lot going on right now. If you keep it tuned here to 99.9 The Fan and The Drive, we will do our best to make sure you're aware of all the different, for lack of a better term, balls in the air, right? Chips in the air, fly balls in the air, whatever it is. We're doing our best for you. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Are we sure the Lakers are doing their best?
Yeah.
Because they're finally going to interview former Duke star J.J. Redick for their head coaching position. And I'm just going to put it like this. I would lead him on and then leave him at the altar if I were J.J. Redick. I'll explain why in a second. First, let's hear from Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN's NBA insider, on the interview.
J.J. Redick will be in L.A. this weekend. This will be his first formal interview with both Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, and the Lakers owner. And if he performs well here, I'm told it'll largely be his job to lose. He is at the forefront of this search again, as the Lakers recalibrated after losing out on Connecticut's Dan Hurley. And this is a chance for both Redick and Pelinka, to talk through everything that goes with this job. Staff, player development, all the elements, and, among others, how J.J. Redick would feature Anthony Davis, not just in this current iteration of the Lakers, but moving forward.
So he's going to get the interview. Here's what I would do if I were J.J. Yes, I would love to interview. Yes, I have a great relationship with LeBron. Sure, let's get together and talk. And I would show up prepared, and I would show up with ideas. Here's how I would get the most out of Anthony Davis. Here's what I think we could do with our first-round pick. Here's all this. I'd razzle-dazzle him. And JJ has that ability. He's good in the media. He was just an NBA Finals color commentator, or actually is with that series. Not quite over.
Has his own podcast with LeBron.
Multiple podcasts, one with LeBron. He's buddies with a whole bunch of people.
He's made appearances on College Game Day.
I think he could give him the razzle-dazzle.
Yeah.
And I would make them offer, and then I would say, thank you, but I am nobody's second choice.
Nah, I don't really feel like it. Just go full SpongeBob.
The Lakers royally fumbled the Dan Hurley situation.
Yes.
It made it obvious who's their first choice. And it wasn't LeBron's guy. And you didn't offer enough money to make it a Godfather offer he couldn't refuse.
On the day of my daughter's wedding.
On the day of my daughter's wedding. So here's the thing. I'm going to go through all the people that might be upset by this situation. I think J.J. Redick might feel a little perturbed to be put through the public ringer like this. Because remember, Shams Charania said it was J.J.'s job to lose, and then everybody else had to come around and say, absolutely not. It's Dan Hurley's job to say no to. So now J.J. Redick's like, why did you have to put me through the ringer like that? LeBron might feel a little perturbed because I think it's pretty obvious who he would want to be the coach, and it would be his podcast co-host, J.J. Redick. So the Lakers went out of their way to do everything they could to not bring in LeBron's guy, and LeBron's, lay GM, lay head coach, whatever you want to call him, he's got a history of making his opinions and thoughts and wants and needs very obvious to whatever team he's playing for. The Lakers might feel a little perturbed that they were just turned down by a college coach that they offered a 2 times his salary raise. There's a lot of upset people in this situation. If I'm J.J. Redick, I don't know. I think we've all been in working environments where people aren't happy. And you know where it's not fun to work? There. Where you come in and people already dislike you for some reason. Or you already dislike your boss for some reason. Or there's animosity. You need to cut it with a knife for some reason. And then on top of that, the Lakers is a tough job.
Yeah.
You got to win a championship or else you're nothing. And LeBron doesn't have a million years, right? Even if he re-ups and signs an extension, he's not going to be there for 10 years.
He's going to leave eventually.
He has to. I know it feels like he's the Tom Brady of basketball, and he's unbelievable, but there's going to be a point where he's asked to retire. I don't know when that is, but it's not 10 years from now. I thought maybe
I know we paused.
I'm sorry. I know this is radio, and if you pause, everybody's like, "Oh, did my radio just go out?" There was a lot of high fives being given by the UNC baseball team.
I believe Colby Wilkinson just hit a double, and they put a pinch runner in.
Yeah, it must have been. So
he was running into the dugout, and now you have Vance Honeycutt up to bat. Yes.
So Honeycutt's on at the plate with a runner on second, down 2-1.
1 out.
1 out. Is at the bottom of the 7th.
0-1 count. Yep, and he's already 0 for 3 today. Swing and a miss.
Oh, he's on it. We can't.
No, he made contact.
We're not going to do play-by-play for you, but we'll keep you updated on how that at bat ends.
Back to the Lakers.
Back to the Lakers. If I'm JJ, I don't want that situation. I work too darn hard to build up my reputation to let it be saturated by that, or let it be saturated is the wrong word. Tarnished by that situation.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like tarnished.
Good vocabulary.
Thank you. It's no foliage, but it's it's
or
a word.
vegetation.
It's a word. What I do though, if I'm JJ, I don't know why I'm very much like role playing as JJ Redick right now. If I'm JJ, I do use this situation to make me a more legitimate coaching option for the next job, right? Because a lot of times I'm like, this happens in the NFL all the time. A coordinator will take a head coaching interview, and I'm like, there's no way they're going to get that job, right? Maybe it's like, oh, a very similar person just failed at that job, right? Or it's, oh, you have no connections or whatever, or there's an obvious other person that's going to get the job. And I'm like, why would you take that interview? And as it's been explained to me, taking interviews for head coaching jobs makes it easier for other teams in the future to bring you in for head coaching interviews, right? So if you get offered the Lakers job and turn it down, and then, I don't know, the Jazz job opens or the Spurs job opens, Popovich retires, and you're like, I want to go coach Wemby. You're now more of a legitimate candidate because you talk to the Lakers. That's all I'm doing if I'm JJ. All I'm doing is using the Lakers because they haven't treated you properly through this.
Well, that's like a lot of people believe that Dan Hurley interviewed for the Lakers job just so he could get some leverage with his coaching position at UConn. But the thing is, when you're a back-to-back champion, you don't really need leverage. It speaks for itself. The UConn Huskies going to pay you whatever you ask for.
Oh, I call that and this is a little bit different but similar. I used to call it, can't really do it anymore, the John Gruden.
Okay.
Because John Gruden was at ESPN.
Right.
And he was doing the Monday Night Football. This was years ago. And he had the Gruden Grinders and Spider 2Y Banana, and he had this whole thing going.
Listen to Booger.
And every single coaching job that came open, John Gruden was like the number one candidate. I remember the Tennessee Volunteers
either him
job
or Rex
open.
Ryan, one of the two.
It was just always him. And then he would go to ESPN and he would go, well, another $2 million a year, I think I could turn down the Titans job, or I think I could turn down the USC job or whatever it is, and then he'd get more money. And he never was going to leave. He had the cushiest job in the world. He worked like 15 Mondays a year, and he got paid $20 million or whatever it was.
You got to travel.
Of course he wasn't going to turn that down until he got $100 million to be a coach, and then he squandered that. Different story, different conversation. But, yeah, I think Dan Hurley definitely did some of that.
The whole thing with this Lakers situation, and we kind of talked about this in the bullpen prior to the show, is it's almost like it's one thing if they had interviewed both Dan Hurley and J.J. Redick at the same time.
Yes.
But you banked on Dan Hurley, and now it's almost like when you've been online dating and you have 2 dates lined up for a Friday night, and you're hoping that the one that you're more attracted to responds after canceling on the first person. Then you show up to the restaurant, and they don't show up. They ice you, or they stood you up.
Exactly.
And now you're texting back on Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, whatever you want to call it.
See, I got out of it. I don't know all that.
Insert any dating app
I wish I
name.
could be there with the analogy with you.
And then you're like, hey.
I met my wife like
Veronica.
a year before all the apps became a thing.
Are you still available for dinner tonight? My schedule just opened up.
So what you're saying is you turned down JJ because you didn't like the bio. You didn't like the profile pictures.
Nope.
And
you saw their interests, podcasts.
But you matched with Dan Hurley. So you're like, sorry, JJ, I'm busy that day. And then you hit up Dan, and you're like, Dan, this Friday, let's go. Let's get drinks. I've got tickets to the ball game. Let's go.
You show up to the Olive Garden.
Dan Hurley hit you with, sorry, I'm busy. I'm getting back with my ex.
Ugh.
And you went, okay, back to JJ.
Right.
JJ, never mind. Friday, I'm now open. I got the tickets. You still up?
Oh, look at that.
And JJ's like, well, no, actually, I've got
I got
another
tickets
date.
to Dave Matthews tonight. You want to come?
And JJ hits you with, well, no, actually, I'm going with somebody else. Or I'm going to stay with who I'm with. I'm not going to be a background option. I wouldn't hate that if I'm JJ. I don't think it's the right spot for you to start your coaching career. And you have a luxurious backup. Somebody once told me, it's way easier to find the right job when you have a job, because then you're not desperate. You're not taking everything, right? You can wait for the right job. JJ has a job. He's the number one color commentator for ESPN. He has the podcast. He's making the money. I think he just signed like the Richard Jefferson podcast to his media label. So he's doing fine. You don't need a job, so don't take the wrong one. And right there, North Carolina just tied it up.
Just like that.
2-2. Bottom of the 7th.
Call on Vance Honeycutt, and he will answer.
Was that
eventually.
Honeycutt that got it done?
He was 0 for 3. I think no, there's 2 outs on the board, so
Yeah, Honeycutt went.
Honeycutt must have gotten out.
They're tied 2-2, and Honeycutt isn't doing anything. Take that. Let's go ahead and update the U.S. Open. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the U.S. Open. Here's the current leaderboard from Pinehurst, presented by McConnell. The leaderboard stands Ludwig Aubert, 5 under par through 9 in the second round. He is in first by his lonesome. There is a 4-way tie in second. Bryson DeChambeau is 4 under, tied for second. His round is done for the day. Thomas Dietrich is 4 under par. He went 3 under on the day, one of the better rounds on the course. He is done. He is in the clubhouse. Patrick Cantlay is 4 under par. He's through 9. He's playing with Auberg. Tied second, and Mathieu Pavon, the Frenchman, is through 7. He's 1 under on the day, 4 under on the tournament, also tied in second. Looking at some other notable names, Rory McIlroy played in the morning. He went 2 over par on the day. He is 3 under on the tournament. He is in a lonesome 6th. Hideki Matsuyama, Tony Finau, they are in a tie for 7th at 2 under par on the tournament. Akshay Bhatia, Wake Forest resident, young guy, really making his name on tour this season. He is in the top 10 as we speak, tied 10th, 1 under par, one of just, 17 golfers under par in the tournament. And I guess we have to update on Tiger. Tiger right now is +1 on the day, +5 on the tournament, tied 72nd. It's starting to appear more and more like the cut line might move back to +5. So Tiger has to play par golf at minimum over the final, whatever that is, 8 holes.
Come on, Tiger.
Come on, Tiger.
Get to Sunday. That's all I'm asking.
Because you're going on Sunday. Get to Sunday. Scotty Scheffler is also going to need a little bit of help. He is right at +5 now, tied 72nd. So he and Tiger are tied. And he's going to need that cut line to move back to +5 because he's already done for the day. Scheffler went +4 today. Could see the weekend, but probably a long shot to get the win that so many were expecting.
By the way, for that J.J. Redick Dayton Nap example, that was just an analogy, folks, all right? Just putting it out there in case there's a certain someone out there listening right now. That was
I thought you deleted those apps, Graham.
I don't know what any of those are.
Are you still swiping? Now, like I said, I never got to, I was with my wife by the time those became a thing. But my wife did enjoy for a while swiping for my friends.
You didn't do the AOL chat room?
AIM? We had AIM. I had MySpace. Do you know what this was even? I don't know if this was in this area. I feel like this was a little regional. Before MySpace, we had something called Xanga. Xanga, and it was like just a blank space, and you could like code it. And I was probably 13, 14. Xanga.
Not Jenga?
No, it was Xanga, I think. That was like for 6 months until MySpace took over.
All right.
Very specific to an age group, very specific to a region. That was in Hawaii. Let's get to the Storm Tracker. Couple minutes late, but every day about this time, we check the latest news, the latest rumors, the latest off-season rumblings for the Carolina Hurricanes. What are we looking at today, Graham?
So today's Storm Tracker necessarily doesn't have to do any rumors, but it's a question that I want to propose to you, Tim Donnelly. Do you sign Jeff Jarvis? Seth Jarvis.
Jeff Sardis.
Let's try that again. Do you sign
Jeff Sardis is like when Seth Jarvis joins Chris Paul in those State Farm commercials. There's Chris Paul and there's Cliff Paul. There's Seth Jarvis and there's Jeff Sardis. That's fine. I think we may have just made some additional endorsement money for Seth Jarvis.
I was feeling so confident going to this segment because I did the right cue and everything.
You're doing great. There's nothing wrong with a Jeff Sardis.
Seth Jarvis.
Can we sign Jeff Sardis? I would love to have a line that has Seth Jarvis on the left, maybe second line center, whoever it ends up being, and then Jeff Sardis on the right. If we could have 2 Seth Jarvises out there, now we're talking.
All right, now the music bed's run out. Do you sign Seth Jarvis to a short-term bridge deal for 3 years and $1 million less, or do you go ahead and just sign him to a long-term deal that locks him in for 7 or 8 years?
Long-term deal.
Because if the Canes want to continue their core to build around Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov, I feel like Seth Jarvis is the next guy that you put in that kind of Three Musketeers.
I want Aho, I want Svech, I want Jarvis, I want Slavin for the next 7 years minimum. Those four. And if Pyotr Kochetkov plays like I think he'll play, this is a prediction this year, then I want him locked up after this upcoming year. Then you mix in like the 3-year deals with Chatty like we saw. You mix in some well-placed veterans. You mix in some, like the Martinooks. You already have Stahl for another, I think, 3 years after this. Like there's something for planning around. Like you can plan around longer-term contracts. So you know how much cap space you have. You know kind of what shelf to shop on during free agency. Yes, Seth Jarvis long-term, and also like from a business perspective. And I know nobody likes to hear like, yo, you got to protect the billionaires' money. I get it. But if I'm Tom Dundon, I want to sign Seth Jarvis to the longest-term deal I can, and I want to get Seth Jarvis jerseys in the team store, and I want to get Seth Jarvis bobbleheads in the team store, and I want Seth Jarvis's face on the side of PNC.
I mean, he's a moneymaker.
He's personable, right? There's a reason why darn near every intermission when they do the, hey, let's have some fun with the players' videos on the Jumbotron.
He's in like half of them.
He's in like a darn near all of them. And he's definitely in all of the favorite ones. There's a reason why, right, the last game of the regular season when so many of the contributors sat out. Bradley Nadeau was getting his time. Scott Morrow was getting his time. They had all these guys that were playing. Jackson Blake were getting their time. Seth Jarvis was the one who went up in the booth and talked with Maniscalco and Tripp during the game. It's because he's got that that dynamic personality.
He was an analyst for that entire second period.
From a business standpoint, you want to be able to link up with him for the next 7, 8, 10 years, and you want to be able to tell your fans he's going to be around for the next 7. Buy the jersey. He's not going anywhere.
Right.
Is a comforting thing. And mix in Aho, mix in Svech, mix in Slavin, and hopefully a goaltender, and you have your core that you can build around and try a few different times to win a cup.
Can we rewind just a little bit?
Sure.
To exit interviews. Here's Seth Jarvis talking about how he committed to a bridge deal or a long-term deal with the Carolina Hurricanes.
That's something we're gonna have to figure out. Obviously, it's gonna be up to what they want to do with me here, and what they see fit. But yeah, I've never been in this situation before, so it's new. I'm gonna feel it out a little bit, talk to people in my circle, and hopefully be a Caniac next year. But we'll see.
Hopefully.
See, that's the bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to act like you're gonna leave
after playing. Well, not even that, but after playing his last or his third season in the NHL, this is his first kind of big boy decision to say, as far as negotiating this contract.
Yeah, and he's built up value for himself. He's played through the injuries. He's played well. He's put up the production, the stats, the goals. He's done whatever's asked of him. He's back-checked. He's hustled. Like, get your money. Now, I hope that the Canes are able to, keep it relatively, not outlandish, but he probably deserves outlandish. I'm a big Seth Jarvis fan. Those four, Aho, Svech, Jarvis, Slavin. 7 years together, more at least. That gives you 2 or 3 different kind of like total rosters to try to go win a cup with before those guys get too far past their prime or start declining.
What about Jeff Sarvis?
Jeff Sarvis? If we can have Jeff Sarvis on the opposite side of Seth Jarvis, I think the more Seth Jarvises you can have on the roster, the better. Obviously Seth Jarvis's twin, Jeff Sarvis, is always welcome. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Real, bold predictions coming up next.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. If you're a new motorcycle rider, maybe you've been riding for just a few years, or you've been riding for a couple decades, have you thought about recently about checking your insurance? Are you underinsured? Maybe you're an uninsured rider. Maybe this is something that you should take a look at, because if you are ever in an accident, it's good to know how you are covered. If you're ever in an accident, this is where Law Tigers comes in. You can go to lawtigers.com and request their free rider benefits kit. Again, lawtigers.com, request their free rider benefits kit. But if you are ever injured in a motorcycle accident, this is where Law Tigers comes in. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company, again, they want to pay you the least amount of money possible. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They know what your bike and your gear are worth. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
Thinking of popping the question? Diamonds Direct has an offer you can't miss. This month only, buy a natural diamond engagement ring of 1 carat plus and receive a free natural 1 carat diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. Imagine giving her the ring of her dreams and her wedding gift all at once. No one provides education, selection, and value like Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet from your friends at Diamonds Direct won't last long. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers, the best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
Hello, Creighton Blackwell here from Coastal Credit Union and 99.9 The Fan. Today, we are at Holly Springs High School, and we're here to celebrate the next Scholar Athlete of the Month, Emma Penkunis.
She's a really great teammate. She's always looking out for everybody on the team and is a great leader. She's willing to set up her teammates for success and just puts herself in the position to help everybody out, and it's been really cool.
Emma is all in. She has been since the first day I met her freshman year.
My community is everything to me. So being able to kind of reach out and get back in these different areas and to people that have had such a big impact on me is just something that's rewarding in itself. I'm someone who have always prioritized my academics, and athletically, once I set those goals for myself, it became a big priority in my life. So to be able to maintain what I want, have those goals set, makes it really easy to kind of focus on what's important. I've had so many people, not even just teammates, but throughout my club, throughout my high school experience, including my parents, that it's just everyone is pushing me to be as successful as I can be. And when I have so many people that are driving me and trying to keep me on track, that it just makes it easy to do it myself. And it makes it so much easier where you're not also trying to be successful for myself, but I'm trying to be successful for those people as well.
Congratulations, Emma.
For over 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have recognized scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326. That's AWARD to 919-860-5326.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Graham, you ready to play a little bold predictions?
You know I love some bold predictions and making you upset with my judgment.
So the way this works is we are the only place in sports media that has a checks and balances system for our bold predictions, right? Everyone else in sports media just says, all right, bold predictions, everybody give your bold predictions. And then they say something like, oh, I bet Rory McIlroy is going to make the cut at the U.S. Open. And everyone goes, whoa, so bold. And then they could show up the next show and they're like, my bold prediction was right. And they take a victory lap. We don't do that here. I make what I think is a bold prediction. If it is bold enough, you will hear the bold enough bell. When Graham's here, it's the bold enough horn. When I make a bold prediction that is not bold enough, you will hear the not bold enough buzzer. And I will have to make it more bold on the spot.
Let's go.
Starting with this. Let's go with a North Carolina walk-off win against Virginia. Not bold enough.
Vance Honeycutt's done it too many times. I mean, if he gets up to the plate in the bottom of the ninth, I'm thinking to myself, all right, here we go.
It's the bottom 8th right now. UNC's at the plate. They're 2-2, 1 out, nobody on. Honeycutt was up last inning, so they'd have to get at least one more on.
There he is in the dugout right now.
How about this? How about I say Vance Honeycutt walk-off win for the Carolina Tar Heels? Vance Honeycutt walk-off double. Vance Honeycutt he's like 0 for 4 today.
It's the College World Series, Tim. Go big or go home with your takes.
Vance Honeycutt walk-off homer?
Fine.
All right.
I wanted
How would I make that more bold?
Grand slam.
Oh, goodness. I mean, that's the boldest. That's bold over the top. But I will say, if that happens, it'll be awesome, and I will replay this clip for you. Next up, I'll go NC State beats Kentucky by 2 or more runs. 3 or more runs. 4 or more runs. NC State beats Kentucky on a walk-off. All right.
I was going to say, they put up 18 against Georgia.
Yeah, but they also got beat 11-1 against Georgia.
Well, that's just kind of how NC State's style of play is. It's either up or down, up and down. The bats are either really hot or the bats are really cold.
All right, let's get to some NBA action. Jason Tatum, former Duke player, Boston Celtics All-NBA pick. 30-plus tonight versus Dallas. 35-plus tonight versus Dallas. 37-plus tonight against Dallas.
Give me another stat line in there. You know what I want.
Oh, I don't know what you want, or else I would have done it. So I'll go back down. Can I go like to 30 and 10? 30 points, 10 rebounds? 35 and 10? This is ridiculous. 35, 10, and 7.
Close enough.
All right. I do think Jason Tatum is going to be bold. I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he knows he hasn't played his best basketball yet this series. And as I said earlier about the Stanley Cup, we can echo it about the NBA Finals. The series is over.
Right.
The story is not. Right?
Correct.
I'm very confident we're going to be talking about the Boston Celtics as the NBA champion. How we're talking about the Boston Celtics as the NBA champion, still up for grabs. Is it Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are a dynamic duo? Are they a deep team that didn't need their star to play well? Did the Mavericks cough it up? Like, there's still some of the story that needs to be written, and I think Jason Tatum is aware of that. So I think he's going to come out and know that if he puts up a massive game in Game 4, it won't be seen as the series where Tatum was quiet and the Celtics got it done without him.
Jason Tatum also feels like there's been a lot of scrutiny against the Boston Celtics, too, as far as, you're going to sweep the Dallas Mavericks when it's Luka Doncic carrying the way and Kyrie Irving hasn't had his best stuff until
and
Game 3.
Luka's hurt and the refs. And
Yep. And
do we have that clip from Jason Tatum?
Yeah, I actually pulled it up just in case you wanted it.
Let's go ahead and hear from Jason Tatum himself.
Obviously, it'd be cool enough to hang an 18th banner. I get that's the bigger thing. But there's never been a Celtic team ever with a better playoff record than what you guys have to this point. The 86 team went 82-18. You guys could be 2 games away from that as like the second best Celtic team ever in terms of record. How much more would that add to it when you think of all that this franchise has done? You guys could be at the top of a whole lot of lists in that record book.
I didn't know that. That would be really cool. But you guys probably would say we didn't play anybody to get here, so we just have to do it again next year.
Oh, wait, hold on. That clip is so funny to me because you see Jason Tatum for a second go like, oh, man, that's really awesome. Thank you for bringing up all those stats. No, I hate you. You keep doubting us.
It went full Nick Saban. Rat poison from the media. Elsewhere in basketball, Kyrie Irving, 5+ threes in Game 4. I think Luka needs someone else to take some of the brunt of it, and Kyrie's going to get hot from 3.
Well, Luka's going to foul out in like the third quarter anyway, so.
No, he's only fouled out in one playoff game in his career. It just happened to be Game 3. And he's played in a surprising amount of playoff games.
But now the refs have it out for him.
Ooh, you think?
Maybe.
Scott Foster's reffing the game.
I mean, They might as well could because this probably will be the last NBA game of the season. So it's not like he's got to see any of those officials until next year.
Do refs get paid by the game?
It's a good question.
Would it be in their best interest as a referee group to extend the series?
Not only are we going bold predictions, but now we're going conspiracy theories. I love this.
For sure. Next bold prediction. You gave it to me for Kyrie 5 threes, right? You gave me the horn?
I did.
Okay. Panthers sweep the Oilers. Panthers sweep the Oilers and hold McDavid scoreless. Goalless. Panthers sweep the Oilers, McDavid goalless, and Barkov scores again. Really? Panthers sweep the Oilers. Get rid of the other stats I said. Another shutout for Bobrovsky. There we go. I think Bob's going to get some trophies at the end of this. He's played pretty well.
I mean, back-to-back shutouts in one Stanley Cup Finals series would be crazy, but if there is a goaltender that can do it, it's Bob.
Sergei Bobrovsky.
The Great Wall of Bob.
The Great Wall of Bob. I have one more bold prediction.
Give it to me.
Let me check the leaderboard to see how this is all sitting up. Make sure you didn't just quad anything. Tony Finau wins the U.S. Open. He is currently in 8th, and even on the day through 9, he is 3 strokes off the lead.
If it's anybody other than Scotty Scheffler, that's bold. Well, actually, that's not really
might not even make the cut.
Yeah, that's not even that bold.
Ludwig Aubert is the leader by far. Data Golf gives Aubert 21.5% chance to win the whole thing. Next closest to winning would be Rory McIlroy, 14.4.
My guy.
Are you a Rory guy? Are you planting that flag?
Well, I mean, I might have to since my confidence in the U.S. Open was that he'd make the top 10 or finish in the top 10.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. They have him as a 57.8% chance top 5.
To go from being a casual golf fan to just predicting the U.S. Open winner.
Well, you didn't predict the winner. You predict him to be top 10.
Well, I mean, still, like
if he wins, you don't get to turn around and say you predict the winner.
I'm not going to say that, but I might go buy myself a lottery ticket.
That's fair, but you can't predict someone to make the cut and then they win the whole thing. You're like, I picked the winner to make the cut.
Or a ring from Bailey's, one of the two.
Or a ring from Bailey's. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Tim Donnelly here for everybody over at Bailey's Fine Jewelry. More specifically, the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop and the Omega Watch Boutique. You walk into Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location in Raleigh. You look to your left, you're going to be drawn to this Omega Boutique. The Omega watches are some of the most easily recognizable, important in the history of watchmaking and iconic watches in the history of timepiece horology, I believe is what it's called. We're talking about the Seamaster, which you've heard on the wrist, or which you've seen on the wrist of your favorite movie spy many, many times. We're talking Speedmaster, which you've seen on the wrist of astronauts going back to when they walked on the moon with the Omega Speedmaster on their wrists. Talking about the DeVille, the Constellation, if you're looking something a little bit more dressy. There is a ton of options, and they are all right there in the Raleigh's Village District location of Bailey's Fine Jewelry in the Omega Boutique. It's the second largest Omega Boutique of its kind in the entire country. And with this being an Olympic year, Omega is the official Olympic timekeeper. So when every second counts, you can count on Omega. Omega has been the official timekeeper of the Olympic Games since 1932. I saw somebody that said, a statement watch, right? These watches that are a piece of history. It's why would you get those and not just get some? They all tell the same time. The response was, you get your watch to tell time. I get my watch so everybody knows my time is worth something.
Powerful. That's
what you're looking for. That's what some of these watches over at the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop and inside the Omega Boutique at Bailey's Fine Jewelry can tell. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting 5 coming up next. Stick around.
We're jamming your June with championships. The NBA Finals.
The Celtics have come back to take a 3-0 series lead in the 2024 Finals.
The Stanley Cup Finals.
Redick in! Rodriguez with the tip-in. His second of the game. It's 3-1 Florida.
The U.S. Open.
Payne Stewart is the 1999 U.S. Open champion. Oh, my.
Catch every winning moment with us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every point, every game, every layup, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game or a player goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, official partner of the Charlotte Hornets. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Hey, it's Victoria with 99.9 The Fan with a Men's Health Month tip from WakeMed Heart and Vascular. Each year, smoking causes more than 480,000 deaths in the United States. That's nearly 1 in 5 deaths. Those aren't odds you want to play with. Don't put off kicking the habit. In just 1 year after quitting, a person's risk for coronary heart disease decreases by half. Learn more about how you can quit and get started today, plus other ways to care for your heart at wakemed.org.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
This Father's Day, give Dad the gift that keeps on giving with the Butcher's Market Steak of the Month Club. Dad will enjoy a fresh, hand-cut steak every month for 6 months, like a prime New York strip steak, a Brazilian picanha, a petite sirloin roast, and a thick-cut T-bone steak, just to name a few. Plus great bonus items like burgundy wine marinated mushrooms and so much more. The Steak of the Month Club is exciting, easy, and just perfect for Dad. Sign up today at any of the Butcher's Market's 6 Triangle locations or at thebutchersmarkets.com. Now open at Lake Boone Trail.
Hey y'all, happy summer from Oak City Customs. We have a lot of cool things happening, including new offerings on custom sun sails, pergolas, outdoor tables and furnishings, raised garden beds, and so much more. All fully customizable and available in any size. We also are now hosting official shop tours for you to experience this unique fabrication process in person. Come visit us or check us out further at oakcitycustoms.com. We look forward to meeting you.
Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 years, plus a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate. If your inefficient windows are costing you too much for air conditioning, that's a big deal. Now during Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace them and save a big deal too. Offer ends June 30th, so schedule your in-home estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Rise and shine, honey. We don't want to miss our flight.
Our flight is in 7 hours. And we have TSA PreCheck with our Navy Federal flagship credit card.
TSA PreCheck? Getting my bugle through security will be so much easier now.
Learn how you can earn up to 3 times points on travel with the flagship credit card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Charlie did not die from an overdose. Charlie was poisoned.
No other family should go through this. It's just horrific.
Go to safe.pharmacy. Use the free tool. Learn if the online pharmacy you're using is safe.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. After a hot day, we have a very, very small chance of seeing a stray shower or storm after sunset through about midnight. Otherwise, it's partly cloudy with lows only dipping into the lower 70s. For Father's Day weekend, it's dry both days with highs right around 90.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones closes the day down 57 points at 38,589.
5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The starting 5 here on the Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan will come up in a second or two, but after bold predictions, I said there's going to be a walk-off for the Carolina Tar Heels against Virginia.
We have a development.
We are knocking on the door. It is the bottom of the 9th. Virginia and North Carolina are tied 2 apiece. There is a runner in scoring position, so a leadoff double for the Tar Heels.
Would I believe Alex Madera?
Basically, any base hit here would be a walk-off.
Yes.
Outside of like a seeing eye single or something.
No outs. Second
we'll
batter
see.
due up.
We'll keep you updated. We will keep you updated, I promise you. Also, a little development here in the U.S. Open. It does appear as if Cantlay is back in a tie for first, so he was able to find a birdie somewhere on the course. So Cantlay, after leading for most of the first day and a half, fell out of the lead and is now back tied for the lead with Ludwig Gobert. I think we're updated as we can be. Now let's jump into the starting 5, starting with number 5. The Stanley Cup Finals are over. Was that a bunt laid down by UNC?
That was.
So Alex Madera of UNC bunted to move the runner from second to third. Little small ball. UNC has, in their first College World Series game against Virginia, a runner on third, 1 out, bottom of the 9th, tie ball game. The Stanley Cup Finals are over. Now, I know they're not over, right, because the Panthers lead the Oilers 3-0, but we talked about it being a must-win yesterday. In order to call it a must-win, it means if you lose, it's over. So we're sticking to it. It's over. And it's time, kind of the phrase that we've settled into today for both the Stanley Cup Finals, which are 3-0, and the NBA Finals, which are 3-0, is the series is over, the story is not. You can still write part of history based on how you play in Game 4. And if you are the Oilers or the Mavericks, you can still do something like win 2 games, and suddenly, a 4-2 series, history looks back on those more advantageously than a 4-0 series. So you can still change some things. Or the flip side of it is the Panthers can prove how dominant they are by slamming the door. Sergei Bobrovsky can lock in the Conn Smythe, can lock in one of the best postseason runs by a goalie. You can lock in something like Alexander Barkov really sticking it to Connor McDavid, a multiple-time MVP. There are stories that can still be told based on how Game 4 goes. Here's Alexander Barkov praising his goalie, Sergei Bobrovsky.
Well, he's had a lot of big saves, especially in the finals. I know they have a really good team. They're going to have their chances no matter how good we play in defensive zone. Like, they create a lot. They're very gifted offensively, so they're going to get their chances. And like Bob has been dialed in, and when you see how much work he puts in every single day and in the practice and in the games, you're just happy to see him perform like that. And that was huge save for us, but he also had a lot of big saves throughout the whole game.
Yeah, there's pretty much everything that could be said has been said about Sergei Bobrovsky. So I don't know what I'm going to add here other than I don't know if there's a position, maybe a starting pitcher that makes you watch someone else's team and when they're going well, go, man, I wish we had one of those.
My goaltender, good.
Yeah.
Big. Strong.
It's like you watch Bobrovsky turn away a great chance, and you're just like, man, I wish we had one of those.
How much is one of those cost?
Yeah,
where can I buy that?
Where do you find them? Do you know a guy? It's man, I'd like to have one of those. Which is why I think you got to find out if Pyotr Kochetkov is one of those. Play him next year. Play him a lot. Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
NBA Finals Game 4 tonight. What did we talk about with the Stanley Cup? Same thing, right? The series is over, right? The Celtics, I'm firmly believing, are going to be the NBA champions. The story is not. Right now, if the series ended right now, the lasting image wouldn't even be a Celtic. The lasting image would be Luka Doncic on the ground after fouling out with 4 minutes left, yelling at his bench that they need to challenge it and whining to the officials.
Actually, no, it'd be Kyrie Irving stomping into the face of Lucky from a couple of seasons ago.
See, I don't even think that. I don't even think that is because Kyrie Irving hasn't played a big enough role. It would be the Celtics got fortunate throughout the postseason because all these guys were hurt and Luka imploded. And if I'm the Celtics, I want tonight's game to look like they dominated. And that can be the lasting image.
Leave no room for questions if you're the Celtics. Also, your real
we're getting close here.
Getting ready to come true.
Earlier today, just everybody, just to let you know how it's going. Earlier today, we had bold predictions, and one of my bold predictions, after being forced to make it bolder and bolder and bolder by Graham, was Vance Honeycutt would hit a walk-off home run for North Carolina. He is at the plate with a 2-2 game, bottom of the ninth, runner on second. A base hit of any kind here is a walk-off. I mean, a base hit into the outfield is pretty much a walk-off. A home run is for sure a walk-off. And he has a 2-0 count.
Yeah, this pitcher's throwing him way outside.
You're gonna be careful with him. You probably wouldn't even hate putting.
Oh, that was it. Right down the middle.
It was an off-speed pitch.
He knows it too.
He was fooled a bit. All right, we have to avoid doing the play-by-play, but we will. We'll let you know. You'll tell if something crazy happens because you'll hear our reaction. NBA Finals Game 4 tonight to distract ourselves. 1 second. We'll see. There's news to report. Breaking news. Vance Honeycutt, walk-off, North Carolina. They win their first game of the College Baseball World Series. 3-2. Honeycutt, a little short line drive between the shortstop and the third baseman, got through to the outfield. Great base running. Scored. There was not even a throw. Virginia loses. UNC wins 3-2.
I mean, if we're being honest, you said it yourself. The NBA Finals is pretty much over, so it's probably a good thing that we're talking College World Series right now.
Which is not over. The game is over, but the College World Series is just beginning. Carolina moving on though. I'm just gonna say this, and it may sound like I'm gonna break my arm for patting myself on the back. My initial bold prediction was North Carolina walks off. You made me go bolder. I said Vance Honeycutt is gonna hit the walk-off. You made me go bolder. I said Vance Honeycutt is gonna hit the walk-off, and it's gonna be a double, which I think he may have gotten to second base there. I don't know if he touched the base, but he
ran off the field once he saw that run across home plate.
He was tackled and kind of met by his teammates out near center field, so he was at least in that direction.
We should have placed a wager on this, which actually probably not. You probably would have won.
And then you forced me to go home run with it.
I mean, they were just missing two more. They were just missing two more runners on base,
which I didn't want. You wanted me to go grand slam, but you forced me to go home run with it. Vance Honeycutt, he's. We talked earlier about who's the most clutch football player in the triangle. Vance Honeycutt is the most clutch baseball player in the triangle this year.
Can he play quarterback for Carolina? That's the next question I have.
Maybe. Julius Peppers status? Go play in a Final Four in one sport and then run over to the other and play that sport too?
What were we talking about?
We were talking about the NBA starting five. That was number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2.
We can move on from the NBA Finals. Trevor Lawrence broke the bank earlier today. I believe, and this must be one of the more crazy things. Trevor Lawrence signed a 5-year, $275 million extension with the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's a direct parallel to the Panthers that we'll talk about in a second. But I believe he gets $82 million in the first year.
Yeah, something like that.
Which I think means one day he's going to wake up, check his bank, and there's going to be like $82.5 million there that wasn't there the day before.
Yeah, he agreed to a 5-year, $275 million contract extension, including $200 million in guarantees. So I'm not even going to try to do the math in my head.
I believe he's just going to wake up one day, like check his mobile banking app, and there's going to be $82 million in there that wasn't in there the day before.
I wish my direct deposit looked like that.
That's insane.
Yes. That's nuts. After only playing 3 years in the NFL.
2 good years. We should talk about that, right? He only played in 3 years. The first year stunk. Why? A, because he wasn't able to elevate over it, but B, because of the situation. It was the Urban Meyer year. ETN was hurt, didn't play at all that year, didn't have the supporting cast. For those of you that forget, Trevor Lawrence's rookie year, guess who was a tight end the Jaguars had in camp? Tim Tebow. As
That's
if they
right.
didn't have enough distractions, they brought in Tim Tebow.
They tried to run it back with the Florida Gators.
Yeah, put fans in the stands, I guess, for training camp. So, what does that have to do with the Panthers? Well, last year was not very good for Bryce Young, but he had a bad situation. Coaching was unsettled. They were both Urban Meyer and Frank Reich were fired about 2/3 of the way through the season. The play calling was unsettled. The supporting cast was not very good. There is a world where Bryce Young looks more like the number 1 overall pick prospect that he was this year, meaning the season that's about to start up in however many months. And then if he backs it up even kind of the following year, he could be in line for a market-setting quarterback deal. So everybody that's writing off Bryce Young, did you write off Trevor Lawrence after his rookie year? Or were you not worried about it because it was a Jacksonville player? Would you have written off Trevor Lawrence after his rookie year? And I know, by the way, I am as sports nerdy as they come, so I do rank every single quarterback in the draft by a system that we've created, me and my buddies have created by ourselves. I had Trevor Lawrence as a much better prospect than Bryce Young. So you might say, oh, well, I didn't give up on Trevor Lawrence because he was a better prospect. Well, you're looking at it from your kind of your own evaluations. The Panthers had Bryce Young as a massively good prospect. How? Why? They traded up to get him, and I know it was the previous regime, but somebody that does football for a living thought Bryce Young was an all-time prospect. So give him a year in a normal situation with a more steady coaching situation, more steady play-calling situation. Give him a year with better weapons around him. And you might just end up paying him $275 million like 24 months from now.
I mean, my evaluation on all this, it feels like the Jaguars aren't necessarily paying Lawrence for entirely what he's done so far. They're paying him because they believe he's going to play at a level that will consistently put them in position to be in the playoffs, especially if he grows under Doug Peterson's offense. Now, I'm not saying the Carolina Panthers are going to make the playoffs next year. If they do, great. But
not this year, because they're like year 2 for Trevor wasn't as good. It would be the next year when you win the division and you get a playoff win and all that.
But if you can just see your franchise quarterback out, what's the word I'm looking for? Elevate in his game. As far as now that he has an offensive line around him, staying in the pocket a little bit longer, throwing into some tight windows to his receivers, and putting them above 500 next year. Yeah, I mean, he's working his way towards a contract extension or getting the bag.
There it is.
Give Bryce Young the bag.
No.
Well, don't give him the bag, but let him work for it.
Be open to him maybe being a player that you would want to give the bag to 2 off seasons from now. Because I'm sure there were Jacksonville fans that were like, goodness, Trevor, I thought you were going to be our savior. Get out of here. Now they're like, goodness, Trevor, please take all of the $275 million. He's, by the way, I think he's tied to Jacksonville now through like 2030 because he has 2 years left on his rookie contract, his 4th year and his 5th year option, then a 5-year contract. So 7 years into the future, Jacksonville has their guy. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2. Just the 2 of us. U.S. Open is going on as we speak out there at Pinehurst. Get in the hole. Boom. Tony Finau, right? Tony Finau up into a tie for second. Again, what was my bold prediction earlier today?
Something about Tony Finau?
Tony Finau is going to win the U.S. Open. He is now in a tie for second through 12 holes. Just looked up to give you an update, and Tony Finau drilled it. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the U.S. Open. Here's the current leaderboard from Pinehurst, presented by McConnell Golf. Ludwig Aubert and Patrick Cantlay are in a tie for first, although that I think has changed also. I'm looking at my computer. I don't think my computer's as up to date as the television. So I think one of them is dropped into second place. There's Bryson DeChambeau, Thomas Dietrich, Pavon, and Tony Finau are all in a tie for second, as well as whichever. So Cantlay must have dropped. Yep, Cantlay dropped a stroke. Aubert just made a big putt. He's now all right. Here's the I'll give it to you as live as the television is. Ludwig Aberg is 6 under. He's in first place by himself. Patrick Cantlay, Bryson DeChambeau, Tony Finau, Matthew Pavon, and Thomas Dietrich are in a tie for second, all 2 strokes back at 4 under par. Other notables, let's see here. Tiger Woods is now 6 over par on the tourney. He bogeyed the 12th. So with 5 holes left to play, at the minimum, Tiger has to play 1 under par to make the cut. It's looking more and more like the cut will be a plus 5. 83% will be plus 5 according to Data Golf. Tiger has to play the next 5 holes at 1 under par to make the cut. That also bodes well for Scotty Scheffler, who is already in with a 5 over par score. So that looks like he'll make the cut despite shooting 4 over par today. Ricky Fowler will make the cut. Brooks Koepka will make the cut at 4 over.
Could be shaping up for an interesting championship Sunday.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that the course is gonna just show its fangs even more. Fun fact about the Open, and this is where I think most of us find our fun. Talk about Brooks Koepka, right? When I said Brooks Koepka is going to make the cut, some of you were probably like, what are you talking about, right? Some of you were probably like, he was near the lead. Let me take you through Brooks Koepka's 3rd hole today.
Okay.
Putted his 3rd shot into a bunker, so he putted it off the green and into a sand trap. Pitched out to about 3 feet. So he got the sand wedge in his hand, stayed locked in, stayed focused, put it 3 feet from the cup, missed the 3-footer, then missed the next 3-footer, ended up tripling the hole. Brooks Koepka is one of the mental giants of golf. In a major championship, he is nails. He is locked in. He turns into like a different being than his normal self. And Pinehurst is kicking his tail.
Unforgiven.
Pinehurst is like the boogeyman. Doesn't care who you are. It's coming for you. Pinehurst. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1. The College Baseball World Series has started, with a bang.
Yeah, it's off to a banger, all right.
UNC Virginia got the action started at like 2 o'clock today. And about 5 minutes ago, it ended with a Vance Honeycutt, who, by the way, is a first-round pick projected Major League Baseball guy. He is one of the best players in the country. He is the A-list star of the Carolina Tar Heels.
All ACC Player of the Year.
All of that. He comes to the plate in a 2-2 game in the College Baseball World Series in Omaha. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, runner on, tie ball game.
Face a 3-2 count too, I believe.
This is the stuff that you talk about in your backyard with a stick and a rock, right? Where you're talking to yourself. Step into the plate, Vance Honeycutt. He's been on fire this year, but he steps up to today. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, runner on, needs a base knock to win for the home team. You throw the rock up to yourself, you swing, you miss, and what do you say? Oh, swing and a miss, but foul tip, he gets another one.
Yeah.
You throw it up, you miss, ooh, misses again, but the umpire said the defense had too many men in the field. Another one, until eventually, oh, he wins. You jog around the bases, right? Vance Honeycutt got to do that. He hit the shot. It wasn't a home run, but it was a liner through the infield to the left side. Runner scores from third. Game over. North Carolina wins. They stay in the winner's side of Omaha.
You know what's crazy? He makes it just look easy.
It did have that moment of like, oh, it's Honeycutt? Oh, this is going to work.
I mean, he was running down the first base line after it got through the gap down third base into left field. You could see him just look at the dugout and just go,
He was doing the little finger wag.
To those looking at YouTube, I'm pointing at you. Like that's what he was doing.
The little finger wag always has some swag. So North Carolina gets a win. That's big. It is double elimination out there, so Virginia's going to have a chance to fight back. But it's you want to stay out of that elimination bracket as long as you possibly can. Completely avoid it if you can. So North Carolina, who was the fourth best team in the country in the rankings coming into the postseason, lives up to it and will continue on the winner's side of Omaha. NC State on the other side will get Kentucky tomorrow. This is a 1 o'clock opening pitch, 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock. Right here on 99.9 The Fan.
You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. And now right there, crosstown rival, just set the bar. Go make something happen, Wolfpack. Elliott Avent, their coach, talked about the impressions of their opponent, Kentucky.
Everybody's good at this time of year, and they're good. We watched our game over on our bus on the way back. We watched our game over. And I think the other bus we had two buses, may have been watching Kentucky. And they're very good. They play a little bit of small ball. They're one of the teams in the SEC that plays probably more small ball than the rest of the teams do. And they got great team speed. Got a great team. I actually saw them play a couple times in the regional, so they're very, very good.
SEC regular season champions, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. And they Kentucky, this is just a fun fact. They put the final nail in the coffin of the Pac-12 when they eliminated Oregon State. Oregon State was the last team that was still competing under the Pac-12 banner.
So if you want to root against Kentucky even more in any sport, you have even more reason to do so. They killed the Pac-12.
They put the final nail in the coffin.
They didn't kill the Pac-12, but yeah.
We can blame them. That's fine. But why are we protecting Kentucky? They did it. It's their fault. They also chased off Calipari.
Yeah, exactly.
They also, Reed Shepherd won best jump shot in the draft class, and I think it should have gone to someone here in the Triangle. The fact of the matter is College Baseball World Series, it's something special. It's something fun. It's something exciting. As we just saw, I'm sure you could hear the excitement in our voices when we were talking about what was going on with the Tar Heels, and it's going to continue all weekend and into next week. Pay attention to it. If you have a chance to sit down and watch a game, do it. Something about Omaha just brings out those exciting moments. And like you mentioned, tomorrow, NC State, Kentucky, you can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan.
Just can't wait for that NC State versus North Carolina College World Series final.
I genuinely think they should move it to the Durham Bulls Athletic Park if it happens.
Oh, you mean, okay. I thought you meant the whole College World Series in general.
No. I'm saying Omaha is perfect for it. And I used to live in Nebraska. If people started hearing me suggest that they move that, there will be letters on my doorstep. But if it's NC State and North Carolina,
it's like when NC State and North Carolina play each other in the ACC tournament championship for basketball, and it's not in Greensboro. Of course, the 1 year it happens.
Yeah, it's like they should have done the same thing when Duke and Carolina played in the Final Four. Just bring it back here, play in PNC. I'm not saying play it in either home court. I'm saying bring it back into the area on a neutral site. It'll never happen, but it should.
5 County Stadium.
Wherever. Play it in a field somewhere, like just a meadow. Like mow the grass, put some bases down, let's play ball.
If you build it, they will come.
Let's go full Field of Dreams with it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly for DraftKings Sportsbook. We are this close. Could not be closer to crowning an NBA champion. And with the action heating up on the court, it's even hotter at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out on the NBA postseason as it winds down. It's super easy to get started with DraftKings if you're a first-timer. How about this? Keep it simple. Just pick a team to win. Try betting on something simple like a team to win. Just go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, place your bet. That's that simple. And if you're new to DraftKings, you got to check this out. I got something else to sweeten the deal for you. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code TIMD. That's TIMD with no spaces. Code TIMD at sign-up for new customers gets you $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown, it's yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. We also need some contestants for the numbers game. A pair of tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival with Willie Nelson and family, Bob Dylan, Robert Plant, and Allison Krauss are all on the line. That's the prize here that goes to the winner. Coastal Credit Union Music Park, June 23rd is the event. If you want to win the tickets, you got to play the numbers game. You want to play the numbers game, you have to call in now. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Numbers game next.
99.9 The Fan and Arise Urology Clinic present Men's Health Month. More than 30 million men suffer from prostate-related issues impacting their quality of life. When men near the age of 40, they may start to experience growth with their prostate. Make sure to get your yearly checkups with your primary doctor to ensure everything is healthy. It's vital. Help yourself and prevent long-term complications before they happen. Men's Health Month is powered by Arise. Call Arise Urology Clinic for Men at 919-964-3750 or visit corewavetherapy.com.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's here. The Chatley Boat and Marine Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats for 6 days only, June 10th through the 15th. Boats as low as $300 a month. Rebates up to $8,000 plus special financing. Large inventory ready for immediate delivery. All boats are water tested before delivery on the Chatley on-site test lake. The Inventory Reduction Sale featuring Yamaha boats June 10th through the 15th. Open nightly until 6:30, Saturday until 3. Only at Chatley Boat and Marine in Sanford.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers, the best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Hot summer days mean time on the water. Let Sound Station and Security make your time even better with our custom boat options. At Sound Station and Security, our Raleigh marine experts can help you for everything with your boat, from the perfect audio system to lights to video. We do it all custom, and we do it all from scratch. You're unique. Your boat should be too. Make sure everyone knows where the best party is this summer on the lake with Sound Station and Security. With 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool, at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Brule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You guys do so many things: windows, doors, siding, gutters, awnings, roofing.
Roofing is the most important part of your home. You want to make sure you keep the water out. Our roofing products, made by Certainty, the shingle roofing, it comes in a lot of different colors, a lot of different styles, but it has a 50-year, 5-star warranty on all material and labor, backed by the manufacturer. It's non-prorated.
I've never heard of a 50-year warranty. I always hear like 20 or 30.
Unless a tree hits the house or you have some storm damage, it'll be the last roof you ever put on your home.
I like that. What about metal roofing?
We do a lot of metal roofing. We got the standing seam, comes in a lot of different colors, and it'll last forever, but it doesn't have the 50-year warranty like the shingled roofing does.
Sounds like you're pushing shingle roofing, which you should probably.
It's affordable, and again, it's hard to beat because it's really the last roof you'll have to pay to put on your home.
Dallas Brule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
It is time to play the numbers game here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. The prize for today, a pair of tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival with Willie Nelson and family, Bob Dylan, Robert Plant, and Allison Krauss, all at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on June 23rd. The pair of tickets will go to either Kevin and Raleigh or Mark and Mebane, whichever one wins. The other, hopefully they have a good time playing. We'll start with Kevin and Raleigh. As always, we ask a question, pick our favorite answer to see who gets to go first. Kevin, weekend's coming up. It's a Friday. It's 5:30. Looking towards the weekend. What is the sports highlight of your weekend? What are you most anticipating, but it has to be sports related?
Definitely tonight when the Boston Celtics will crush the Mavericks, win in a sweep.
All right. I like it. I take it you're a Boston fan?
I am.
All right.
I'm originally from Minnesota. Kevin McHale from Minnesota. I got to meet him when I was in high school. A great guy. Always been a Celtics fan since the 80s.
All right. I didn't know where you were going with that. Of course I'm a Celtics fan. I'm from Minnesota is not how it usually starts. But, but the McHale connection makes sense. Let's go to Mark and Mebane. Mark, same question to you. Looking ahead to your weekend, what is the sports highlight of your weekend?
College baseball, most specifically NC State. Watch them take on Kentucky tomorrow night.
There you go. Mark and Kevin, I don't know if you guys listen often enough, but I do tend to lean local when picking which answer I like more. So NC State in the College World Series, that's the obvious choice here. We'll go to Mark and Mebane first. Mark, you still on the line?
Yes.
All right. The categories you have are NFL Young MCs, all players whose last name starts with MC. NFL, I suited up for the Panthers. These are all players that played for the Panthers, but their jersey numbers on other teams. NBA, current players only, or NHL, Canes and Whalers only?
NHL, Canes and Whalers.
All right. I will give you the team and the player. I know we already know the team in this one, but I'm going to say it anyway to keep the timing fair with the other categories. So I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Brett Pesce, Carolina Hurricanes.
37.
Incorrect. Eric Stahl, Carolina Hurricanes.
12.
Correct. Chris Terry, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass.
Ryan Murphy, Carolina Hurricanes.
23.
Incorrect. Brett Pesce, Carolina Hurricanes.
23.
Incorrect. Chris Terry, Carolina Hurricanes.
17.
Incorrect. Ryan Murphy, Carolina Hurricanes.
26.
Incorrect. Brett Pesce, Carolina Hurricanes.
22.
What was that one that you said there?
22.
I'm looking at the judges. Was it under the wire? All right, you got two. Brett Pesce, number 22.
It's a feel-good Friday.
That was as close as you can. I actually do think I think it was in. I don't think we're being nice there. I think he got it before the buzzer. So you got Pesce with 22. You got Eric Stahl with 12. Chris Terry, we would have accepted 25 or 58. And Ryan Murphy, we would have accepted 7. But you got 2. Quality answer, quality number. We'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and sit on the line, all right?
All right.
That brings us to the Minnesota Celtics fan himself, Kevin in Raleigh. Kevin, are you there?
Yeah, I am here.
All right.
I'll take the NFL with the MCs.
All right. These are all players whose last name starts with MC. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock. You need 3 to win. You have a pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No questions. All set.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Christian McCaffrey, Carolina Panthers.
22.
Correct. Terry McLaurin, Washington Commanders.
18.
Incorrect. Donovan McNabb, Philadelphia Eagles.
9.
Incorrect. Terry McLaurin, Washington Commanders.
83.
Incorrect. Donovan McNabb, Philadelphia Eagles.
8.
Incorrect. Terry McLaurin, Washington Commanders.
Pass.
Willis McGahee, Baltimore Ravens. I gave you the best chance I could there.
Yep, nope, that was great.
McCaffrey.
Hey, congrats.
Oh, there you go.
Have a good time.
Appreciate it. Thank you for calling in. For those of you playing at home, CMC 22, he got that one right. Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry wears number 17 for the Commanders. Donovan McNabb wore number 5 for the Eagles. See him running around all those Campbell's chicken soup commercials. Willis McGahee, Baltimore Ravens, wore number 23. Those were the ones, if you're playing along at home, you might be curious about. But Mark and Mebane, you are the winner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You win the tickets. You get to see the Outlaw Music Festival. Willie Nelson and family, Bob Dylan, Robert Plant, Allison Krauss, all at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on June 23rd.
Thank you.
There you go. Sit on the line. Graham has some info he needs to get from you to make sure we can get the tickets to you. But congratulations once again. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, wants to help you out just in time for Father's Day. We want to help you recognize Dear Old Dad. Text DAD, D-A-D, to 919-860-5326. Click the link, nominate a deserving father figure in your life, and they just might win a grilling prize pack. That includes $50 to Carolina Ale House. It's a gift card, grill accessories, beer and wine, local spices and sauces. How would you not put in just a nice little nomination for a deserving father figure to get him some free beer and wine? I mean, what are we doing here? It's a Friday. Toast. Cheers, right? That's what we're getting after. So, again, text DAD, D-A-D, to 919-860-5326. Click the link, nominate a deserving father figure in your life, and they just might win that grilling prize pack. Dear Old Dad is served up by Carolina Ale House, where all dads get a free varsity burger this Father's Day. All dads, free varsity burger this Father's Day, so mark that down as well. Quick update on the U.S. Open. Tiger Woods +6, 3 holes to go. He needs to birdie one of them, play the 3 holes, 1 under par, to have a chance at making the cut, which does look like it's going to move back to +5. He's at +6 right now. Needs to start making some putts. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's only one thing left to do before the weekend. Make our picks. We'll do just that coming up.
Dennis Cox here for my friends at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. And while you're there, sign up for their free newsletter because they have some special offers and promotions for people that subscribe to their newsletter. So you got to be subscribed in order to get those free offers. Also, when you head down to Deep River, which, by the way, it's just minutes away from anywhere in the Triangle, next time you do your round of clays, let them know that you heard about it on 99.9 The Fan. Let them know you heard about it here on The Fan. Get yourself a free t-shirt, deepriversportingclays.com.
Hey, it's Victoria in studio with WakeMed's Dr. Michael Williford for Men's Health Month. He's with WakeMed General Surgery, specializing in minimally invasive hernia repair. What exactly is a hernia?
A hernia just means a hole anywhere. The most noticeable ones are on the abdominal wall, the belly button hernias, the groin hernias. Hernias can occur for many different reasons. We all have an umbilical cord in the womb. We all have a natural defect there at the belly button. Over time, that can grow and become larger. Similarly, in our groin, during development, our testicles descend there. We have a natural hole in the groin as well, and we can develop a bulge there as well. And we think up to 10% of men will develop some sort of hernia in their lifetime, and generally hernias get larger over time. There are a few things that can make them get larger. You know, anything that increases pressure on the inside of the abdomen, weight gain, straining for constipation, men that do repetitive heavy lifting at work, an incision can make your tissues weaker.
Learn more about WakeMed General Surgery at wakemed.org.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's bow time." So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
Tim McGraw. In concert, the Standing Room Only Tour 2024. A night filled with your favorite songs. PNC Arena, Raleigh, Saturday, June 22nd. With special guest Carly Pierce and Timothy Wayne. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Tim McGraw, presented by Sports Illustrated.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
Hello, Creighton Blackwell here from Coastal Credit Union and 99.9 The Fan. Today, we are at Holly Springs High School, and we're here to celebrate the next Scholar Athlete of the Month, Emma Pankunis.
She's a really great teammate. She's always looking out for everybody on the team and is a great leader. She's willing to set up her teammates for success and just puts herself in the position to help everybody out, and it's been really cool.
Emma is all in. She has been since the first day I met her freshman year.
My community is everything to me. So being able to kind of reach out and get back in these different areas and to people that have had such a big impact on me is just something that's rewarding in itself. I'm someone who have always prioritized my academics, and athletically, once I set those goals for myself, it became a big priority in my life. So be able to maintain what I want, have those goals set, makes it really easy to kind of focus on what's important. I've had so many people, not even just teammates, but throughout my club, throughout my high school experience, including my parents, that it's just everyone is pushing me to be as successful as I can be. And when I have so many people that are driving me and trying to keep me on track, that it just makes it easy to do it myself. And it makes it so much easier where you're not also trying to be successful for myself, but I'm trying to be successful for those people as well.
Congratulations, Emma.
For over 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have recognized scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326. That's AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company wants to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers are riders too, so we understand what your bike and gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and we don't get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
The countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Nearing the end of the show on a Friday. We still have Overdrive coming up next where we'll give you play some of the hits again for you. But for the Drive with Tim Donnelly nearing the end of the week, it's been a busy week. Some people think June, July is the quiet part on the calendar. It's not. We've had a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend, including, the U.S. Open about an hour and a half from here at Pinehurst, and the College Baseball World Series, which includes 2 teams from the Triangle.
See you on Sunday?
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a Sunday morning decision for me. It's the beauty of having a media pass. I don't know if I'm gonna go cover it or not. I'll wake up and decide. But with that being said, there's a lot of stuff we can make our picks on. So let's do that. Graham, line it up so we can knock it down.
Game 4 of the NBA Finals between the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, the Boston Celtics have the Mavericks in a stranglehold right now with a 3-0 controlling lead. You can actually listen to that game right here on 99.9 The Fan with pregame coverage beginning at 7:30, leading you up to tip-off at 8:30. Dallas is favored -1.5 for the spread.
Really?
I think maybe that's just a little desperation tactic, or Vegas is just trying to tempt you to place a wager on it.
What do they know that we don't know?
That's true. I mean, or Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving about to combine for 60? So I feel like that's the only way they're going to
I feel like if they're going to win, it's going to be like 74 between the two.
Yeah, they're both going to have triple-doubles or something.
I think Boston wins.
I'm right there with you. Again, 3-0 is 3-0. Not many teams have been able to overcome it. I mean, I think it's like a 92% rate in the NBA Finals of teams that go up 3-0 end up winning. It's like 80.
Probably more than that.
It's like 86 when teams just go up 2-0.
Yeah, I think it might be up 95 plus.
I just don't feel like the Mavericks have anything left in the tank. I don't think Kyrie Irving has anything left in the tank after what he did in Game 3. And I think Luka has just kind of gotten in his own head a little bit too much as far as kind of jawing back and forth with the officials. And Boston just looks like they're the better physical, and they just can't be outworked as a team.
I will say I've been on Boston in every game this series. I think this is the least confident I am, just because you never know how a team's going to react with like pure back against the wall. And Boston, maybe they think like it's all wrapped up.
I mean, -1.5.
But if you make me choose a team, I'm picking Boston. I'm checking the box to pick Boston because they've been better by a wide stretch. And the beauty is, like, I don't think they need any one person. If Tatum has an off day, they've been able to win. If Kristaps Porzingis doesn't play, they've been able to win. Like, there's
they have Drew Holiday too.
Meanwhile, if the Mavs don't get a big game from both Luka and Kyrie, and maybe someone else having kind of that heater game,
they kind of fall apart.
Then I don't think they have a chance. So just, there's a better chance Boston gets what they need than Dallas.
Kyrie's going to hang a jersey up in TD Garden one way or another.
Hey.
Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, I should say. Speaking of a controlling 3-0 series lead, Florida Panthers versus Edmonton Oilers. 8 p.m. tomorrow night is the puck drop. 999 The Fan with pregame coverage begin at 7:30, just shortly after NC State and Kentucky wrap up. Edmonton is favored at -1.5 at +210 on the money line.
State.
Oh, wait. So you're taking State. I shouldn't have even mentioned NC State and Kentucky. Edmonton and Florida right now.
Florida. I think here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Florida, but I'm reserving the right. This is where I'm going to break all the rules and everybody's going to be upset with me. I'm reserving the right for a Connor McDavid special game.
Okay.
I think he's one of the few people that if he just decides I'm not getting swept,
he's going to go out with a bang.
He can kind of make that decision. He's good. But with that being said, Florida's been the better team on the ice.
Yeah.
At times Edmonton's controlled the action, but then Bobrovsky has been the equalizer. So give me Florida to finish it out. But if not, it's because Connor McDavid has one of those, like, you're not sending me out that easy moments, and he has, 4 points, 2 goals, something crazy.
I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, exactly. Like that moment. And then you just hear a bell in Game 5. And it's like, well, good job, buddy. But I'm reserving the right for that to happen.
I'm taking the Florida Panthers, too. One, because I feel like going into this Stanley Cup Finals, we kind of knew that goaltending wasn't the Oilers' strong suit. It was kind of more their offensive attack and how many goals they could rack up in a game. The only problem is for the Edmonton Oilers on the other side of the ice, they had the Great Wall of Bob that they got to go against. And Bob has just been – he reminds me of that walrus that you see in the Geico commercial. You know what I'm talking about?
Describe it to me.
It's like saving 50% or more on car insurance. It's like having a walrus as your goaltender.
Yeah. And he just fills up the entire goal.
That's Bob. And also, as Carolina Hurricanes fans, we've seen how dominant the Florida Panthers have been up close and personal in a playoff series. We felt this.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers the Canes last year were closer to the Panthers than thus far the Oilers have been.
Now, I'm not saying I want Connor McDavid to be taken out early on in the game like Jacob Slavin was in that Game 4. I don't wish that on anybody. But we've seen this Florida Panthers team up close and personal. If anything, you said it. We wish that they could the Hurricanes could replicate.
I just think they're very
Panthers
similar.
team.
I don't think that they should replicate. I think that their system is similar. Their style of play is similar. So the system can work because it's working for the Panthers, and Canes just have to tweak a few things.
Yep. Florida in 4. To the Diamond, College World Series tomorrow, number 10, NC State versus number 2, Kentucky, 2 p.m. right here on 999 The Fan with our good friend Andrew Sanders on the call.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, ACC, baby. Give me NC State.
Give me State. Give me an AMAC home run. Also, give me the NC State building on what might be the greatest overall top-to-bottom NC State athletic school year in the history of the school. Obviously, individual teams have won national championships, so that sport will be better there. But a Final Four in men's basketball, a Final Four in women's basketball, a trip to the College Baseball World Series, if they make it to the Final Four or the final or win it in baseball, and the football team finishing in the top 25 of the final college football playoff rankings poll. There's a lot of very, very exciting things going on with that program, and they can build off of it, starting with a win tomorrow against Kentucky.
It's kind of interesting that not only we have NC State and North Carolina in this College World Series, which makes up of all ACC and SEC teams, but both North Carolina and NC State are having great athletic years, but for separate reasons. NC State as a whole, with their athletic teams, is having a great year. I feel like North Carolina, as individual athletes, is having a great year between Drake May in football, Armando Bacon, RJ Davis in basketball, Deja Kelly, and now Vance Honeycutt.
That's a great observation. That is a great observation. I think you're probably right on that. The individual accolades probably do lean towards UNC. RJ Davis, ACC Player of the Year. NC State makes the Final Four. Two different types of accolades. I'm with it. I'm liking it.
It's up to you to decide which one's more important. And just for the heck of it, another College World Series game. This game actually follows NC State and Kentucky tomorrow at 7 p.m. on ESPN. Florida versus number 3 Texas A&M. Give me the Gators, what they were able to do in the Clemson Regional after they gave up that home run late and then just came back and stuck it to them. And I kind of feel like Florida was the better team in that game anyways.
And I mean, I like this either way because an SEC team's going to lose. But an SEC team also is going to win. To be completely honest, I didn't watch a lot of SEC college baseball this year. I've crammed pretty hard on the ACC, not leaving much time for the SEC. I have family that went to Florida, so go Gators. That's all I know about them.
There you go. And then finally, your U.S. Open winner.
Let me see if anything's changed. Tony Finau. And by the way, Tony Finau, I love his game. I saw him on the range 2 days ago when I was out there for our show. Looked very calm. Brought his buddy Dustin in. Like, everybody gets one person during practice rounds inside the ropes. Usually you use like a swing coach or a putting coach or a short game coach or something like that.
Right.
I heard him when he was walking in because the players' lot was right by where the media building was. He was introducing. He's like, "Hey, this is my buddy Dustin," and they were kind of like, "Oh, is he on the bag?" And he's just like, "No, it's Dustin." And I was like, I love that. He's so comfortable. He's like bringing friends to practice rounds. And then on top of that, the universe told me Tony Finau was going to win because I co-own a fantasy golf pool with my brother.
Right.
And my brother texted me, "Hey, should we play Tony Finau this week?" While I was sitting 10 feet behind Tony Finau watching him on the range. I was like, oh, stars are aligning. So we played Tony Finau. He is in 4th right now, tied for 4th, 2 strokes off the lead on the 14th hole. Plenty of golf left to play, but I'm going with Finau as my pick. That's going to about do it for us here on the Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, Overdrive is coming up next. We're starting with the earlier edition of our 99 questions about the college football season series. So that's going to start off Overdrive. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. We are building a community there, and we want you to be a part of it. Thank you to Graham for keeping us up and running today and yesterday. He'll be back with us on Monday. Until Monday, everybody, have a great weekend.
Golf's third major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover the U.S. Open from Pinehurst. Find out if Wyndham Clark can go back-to-back or if a new champion emerges. Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the